When your star sign aligns with your favorite bars, that's Rapstrology. Available in premium heavyweight, pre-shrunk cotton, designed for durability, comfort, and a fit that lasts. Each one makes a statement in its own way, designed to stand out at concerts, in the studio, or anywhere culture lives. It's more than fashion, it's legacy wear. Rapstrology is about options that speak to your vibe. Every drop connects the zodiac to the spirit of rap, a crossover that's authentic, creative, and conversation starting. Choose from 3 bold text editions, gold, white, and black. Each release marks a new chapter in the Rapstrology story. Volume 1 and Volume 2, Rapstrology tees and hoodies available now.
Too many people walk through life carrying fear. Not because they've done something wrong, but because no one ever told them they have rights. When you don't know the law, even ordinary life can feel like a risk. That's why we build Know Your Rights Foundation, a place where the law becomes clear, simple, and yours. Knowledge is your shield. The law is your defense. Start learning today at KYRF.org.
What if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
What it do, people? On this Saturn's Day, another Saturn's Day. What's going on, people? How you feeling? What's going down? What be cracking? And all the other greetings that we tend to have in the hood. But what's up, people? What is going on this fall Saturn, this Saturn's Day? What up, BYG Mac? Wonderful Storm, Sam Stone 41. What up, brother? Mark Woods, Lester Ingram, Reloaded 614. Daniel Cates, Brian Bennett, Brother Tyrone, what's cracking? Jason Rivers, got you. Lester Ingram says I've been waiting all week. That's funny. What up, Melanated Brown? Terry Bell, Dwayne Hicks, what up, brother? Very good Know Your Rights Foundation versus he did. He had a battle in Know Your Rights Foundation. We do these mock trials or mock, these mock debates in Know Your Rights Foundation, and he killed it. So nice job, brother. Niji 26, what's cracking? Labor of Love Homestead, what's up? Ishmael Timbo. Some chick named Star. Dewan, excuse me. What's that? Jadon? Is that Jadon L? I think I got it. Yo, Lane Elliott, appreciate you. Thank you for the Cash App. And everybody else who wants to hit the Cash App, I appreciate y'all for hitting the Cash App. Damn, you just, oops. Right there, it's Real Nagas, the number 9 on the Cash App. I appreciate you guys. Where did I leave off? Scotty Saturn, what's up? Broadway Joe, Dan NY, You got NY. Was that New York? Danny Marley. Coley Locks. Visual U. Lane Gretzky. Funny. DD. What's happening? And Chris Diggity. What's happening, people? Take a few minutes for some people to get in here. What's cracking, people? While people are coming in here, we can watch my other new commercial for Rapstrology. That's right, baby. That's right. Pick it up. All your gear. You can see I got the FIFO. I got the FIFO shirt on today. Bam. This is the Ernie Barnes inspired FIFO shirt, as you can see, with the melanated sister as the O at the end. So appreciate you guys. If y'all go to realnagas.com and just hook up some of the gear, some of the merch I got in there. Got a bunch of gear. Hundreds of t-shirts, 100 different styles of t-shirts, and make sure you hook up the Rapstrology gear for sure. And everybody who ordered the Great Book of Melanin Research, or who orders the Great Book of Melanin Research, boom, right here, the hard copy. Got to be the hard copy. Going to throw the t-shirt in. I got to do the commercial with the t-shirt. You see the commercial's off the chain. So I'm going to throw a t-shirt in if you order the Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy. Samuel Moore, appreciate you. Thank you for the Cash App, brother. And everybody who hits the Cash App. Appreciate all you guys for support. But order the hard copy, the Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy. You will get one of the Rapstrology t-shirts, as you just saw. Bam. You see that right there? You see how good it look on her? Don't be just looking at her. Look at the t-shirt. You see how good that look on her? But bam. Also, that's volume 2. So this is volume 1 right there with Q-Tip. And this is volume 2 with Redman. So this is what they look like. Boom. Volume 1 and volume 2. Now, y'all know you want to look icy like this in these shirts. Y'all better get over here and get this gear. God dang it. You understand? Get over here and get this gear. Stop playing. But also, it comes with, as you see, it comes with the whole police stop law package. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Public Official Bonds book, the qualified immunity notices, the constitutional rights card. This is what you keep in your car, the qualified immunity notice and the constitutional rights card. That's what you keep in your car. And when you get pulled over, you should keep it on you too, but especially when you travel in your car, you get pulled over, they start asking you questions. Especially if it's a legal stop, then you just hand them all your information along with those cards, and you say, I don't answer questions when they start asking you anything out of bounds, outside of whatever they need for the police stop. Just your name, your address, that type of stuff. They don't need to know where you came from, where you're going. Is this still your address? What you've been, none of that. You hand them those cards, you say, I don't answer questions, officer. You understand? That is how you are going to get back.
It only takes one moment, one wrong move, one unexpected stop. When life gets real, know what to do, know what to say. Join KYRF.org today.
You heard her. Know your rights. Shout out to Ayana. But you also get the police stop flashcards, volume 1 and 2. And like I said, I'm going to throw in the awesome shirts, the volume 2, the Rapstrology t-shirts, volume 1, or volume 2. We have them in the gold, white, or black text. So make sure you let me know when you order the book, the size of your shirt, the color, and the color of the text that you want on the shirt. All right, very important. But make sure you get these constitutional rights card, this qualified immunity card, and this notice. Also, you get the press pass. Trust me, this is going to be very important really soon. You're going to need all the documents that you can to be able to travel around this damn America real soon. So you better stock up. Trust me, you better stock up. So, like I said, appreciate you guys for all your support. Also, make sure you get over to patreon.com/realnagas if you want to get out of the system, have 1 foot in the system and 1 foot out of the system. That's the best way to do it. You don't necessarily want to separate from the system completely. You don't want to do that. But I mean, what I'm talking about is, if you're a new viewer, is taking your status back. Basically separating yourself from the corporation known as United States of America, Inc., taking your status back, and then contracting with them on an even balance, on an even scale. Whereas right now you are a debtor. They're in the upper part of the contraction of the contract that they're working right now. So you want to make yourself an equal party of the contract. Right now, you are not an equal party of the contract. You're the debtor or the slave of the contract. So I teach you how to contract, basically. So go to patreon.com/realnagas, teach you how to have 1 foot in the system and 1 foot out of the system. And with the paperwork at the highest levels, that you sign up to, once you're able to explain the paperwork, and remember, you have to explain it. When you can explain it, I will give it to you for free. Absolutely. But you have to explain it, because I will be raising this 1 million Johnny Cochran army. Trust me, I'm doing it. With you or without you, I'm doing it. So you better get in here. So again, you want to do that, make sure you go to patreon.com/realnagas and sign up, or that CashApp, Real Nagas the number 9, or Rapstrology for everything, for all your clothing and merch needs. All right, everybody, let's get into it. It's a whole bunch of bull crap this week. Let's see if we can get to it. I do have to do something after this, so let's see how much news we're able to get in here. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to it all, but we'll see. Also, if you just saw, I did the Lawcast yesterday. Excuse me. Shout out to everybody who viewed the Lawcast and came in and checked us out, and gave us some support, and checked it out. And also the people who came on stage and gave their opinions. Appreciate that. Again, we're getting started on this Lawcast. This is something that's very needed right now. We need to make the law a conversation. Right now, it's very taboo and spooky and mysticism and all that, because no one knows the law. No one knows it well enough to be able to talk about it on a constant basis, on a consistent basis. So we're going to see if we can do that for you guys. Also make some sense of what's going on in America with this police state, this coming police state, because you see, it's here. It's not is it coming? The police state is here at this point. So how do you deal with it? So we talk about that type of stuff on Lawcast, and we're going to be doing that. I think right now we're doing it every other Friday. We want to be able to move it to every Friday, but right now things are happening, so it's hard to get in there every Friday. So right now it's every other Friday. So we just had one yesterday. So if you missed it, go watch the Lawcast episode from yesterday, episode 2. So again, appreciate everybody who joined in on the Lawcast. Everybody who joined in on the Lawcast. What you say, True Knowledge? I'm here late, but nevertheless you here. Get your butt here on time. God damn it, that's melanated people goddamn problem. You can't never get nowhere on time. Huh? If you can't do that, how you gonna raise up in the world? How you gonna get somewhere in the world? If you can't get nowhere on time. Huh? True Knowledge? I'm just messing with you. Get your butt here on time. But I appreciate you guys. So let's get into it. Apparently there was a ceasefire that was agreed upon. Maybe. As you saw in the title, maybe there's a ceasefire. Hold on, let's see if we can get some news on this. Hold on one second. Uh-oh, where's my that's it? Hold on. Damn it. Where is my I think this is it. Oh, come on, man. Hold on. I lost my damn. Oh, here it is. I got it. So here we go. This damn StreamYard is crazy. I'm still working it. So y'all got to bear with me. If I mess up, hey, it's called real Nagas. Shit go real sometime. That's the way it go. But here we go.
Just one day before the 2-year anniversary of the attack that ignited the war in Gaza, delegations from Hamas, Israel, and the U.S. will convene in Egypt today for indirect talks. It comes after Israeli airstrikes on Gaza over the weekend, killing dozens, even after President Trump called on Israel to stop the bombings. That demand coming after Hamas agreed to release all remaining hostages. President Trump appearing optimistic ahead of today's talks, but he warned Hamas that it will face complete obliteration if it refuses to give up control of Gaza.
It's a great deal for Israel.
See how he just keeps threatening Hamas like, dude, your threats mean nothing, dude. Come on, man. They done already killed like a couple 100,000 people over there. What the hell you think? You're going to be obliterated. Shut up with that stupid shit. It's only dumbass motherfuckers like him who aren't real hardcore people who think they can just keep threatening people. Like, dude, you've never been in a damn real fight in your life. Stop threatening people. Fake ass gangster. God damn. You're going to be obliterated. Shut up. So you know what's going on with this is now because of the ceasefire. And because America came up with it, like I talked about last week, how it was against Netanyahu's wishes. Netanyahu did not want this ceasefire to pop off, right? So he went back. He still was bombing. He's still bombing right now. There's supposed to be a ceasefire, like I said. So there is no ceasefire, but they're working on the ceasefire. But they're like, until all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, we're still gonna be bombing. Basically trying to kill as many Palestinians as they can before it actually happens. But America is getting ready to send 200 troops over there to help facilitate the ceasefire. How many of you put some money on a false flag popping off against the American troops by Hamas when they're over there? What do you put down? What are you putting? All bets are open. Throw your bets on the table. What do you bet? What you got now? I got a cool 500. Cool grand. Let me throw a cool grand on it. I think once those troops get over there will be some type of, not trying to speak it up, just saying we know how the new Khazarians think. So Trump is going to be over there. And so when he leaves, though, he's going to leave like 200 troops. So he's going over there right now. Hopefully, they don't try to do the false flag when Trump bitch ass is over there. That would kind of be the real shit. Them trying to do a false flag when Trump is over there, but not really taking him out, but almost hitting them so they can, see, Hamas, they use this as the perfect time, the perfect opportunity to take Trump out. We have to kill Hamas. We have to kill them. They're evil people. You see what they did here? What if that shit pops off? Hamas is evil. You see what they did? They tried to kill Mr. Trump. They tried to kill Trump. They tried to kill you, Mr. Trump. Just saying. That might be popping off.
It's a great deal for the entire Arab world, Muslim world, and world. So we're very happy about it.
As part of the U.S. brokered peace proposal, in addition to releasing hostages, Hamas agreeing to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body with support from Arab nations. In return, Israel would withdraw its military from Gaza completely and release Palestinian prisoners. A deal is not guaranteed. Israel has previously said that Hamas must agree to disarm, but the group has not said it is willing to do so. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says getting Hamas to disarm could pose a real challenge.
There are a lot of opportunities here for whoever wants to sabotage it to do so, and that includes Hamas, by the way, or elements linked to Hamas.
But for many in Israel, there is hope. Over the weekend, families of the hostages rallied in Tel Aviv as Netanyahu said he believed the hostages could be released in the coming days.
When will I see my brothers again? We are suspended between hope and dread. We have lived through Hamas lies before. We cannot let another deal collapse.
Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
After more than 7.
So, is the deal real? That's what we got to be asking. Is the deal real? Now, Trump wants it to be real because he was trying to get it done before the Nobel Peace Prize was announced yesterday, and he didn't win it. Some chick who's fighting the Venezuela dude over in Venezuela, she won. But so Trump didn't win it. I don't know how you trying to win. You're supplying bombs that's blowing up babies, nigga. You're not gonna win the Nobel Peace. Well, in actuality, honestly, that would actually fall right in line with the prize. The person who actually came up with the prize, Nobel, the dude who came up with the person that is named after. This fool was famous for creating dynamite. He was this nigga made dynamite. How the hell he get a Nobel Peace Prize, nigga, when you became rich by selling dynamite, making and selling dynamite. The reason he did that is because of him making dynamite. He was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be known for blowing up shit. So he came up with this Nobel Peace Prize in order to smooth out his image. So basically, though, Trump he should have probably got it for giving bombs to Israel. That's kind of right. Yeah, TNT. Motherfucker came up with TNT. Bitch ass. And he get a Peace Prize named after him. And you was creating and selling dynamite. Kind of only in America. Like as what's his name? Don King say, only in America. So we say how they with the fuckery. But I don't believe like I said, I don't believe the ceasefire, because they're not ceasefire. The ceasefire hasn't happened. And Netanyahu can't come to a ceasefire. He going to jail. Like, come on, man. Everybody know he going to jail. That's one of the stipulations he actually tried to put in the ceasefire, though, is that they stop the court proceedings against him in the international court. They were like, nigga, stop. Nigga, you done too much, bitch. You've done too much. Nigga, don't be trying to slide that in there. Like, and we're going to stop the court proceedings, right? That's what we're going to. That's part of the deal. We stop the court proceedings, right? That's, what does that got to do? Wait, what the fuck shit that you did before the war started have to do with stopping the war? I'm just saying, we don't need those Israel has gone through so much right now. We are going through so much. We do not need me to go through a court trial right now. I just don't think Israel needs me to go through a court trial. Like, nigga, you ain't got shit to do with Israel. Get your bitch ass out of here. Israel wants your bitch ass in jail. So that's why there's going to be no ceasefire, because as soon as they stop, everybody in the world wants them to go to jail, including the Israeli people. So you think it's going to be a goddamn ceasefire? Please. Them 200 American, I mean, I hate to even think it, but is Trump just sending 200 American soldiers to be sacrificed to the synagogue of Satan? Y'all know the synagogue of Satan in Revelations. The synagogue of Satan, that was supposed to be the people who were supposed to be Jews, but they weren't Jews. They were just acting like they were Jews. That's in Revelations. Who the fuck is that? People who supposed to be Jews acting like Jews, but not really the Jews. Who could that be? Don't know. Can't say. Don't know. What you say? You said everybody getting the hell out of Dodge. Everybody getting the hell out of Dodge. Straight up. He says another U.S. flunky Venezuelan stole Trump's prize. Calling for Israel to invade Venezuela paid off for her big time. Oh, that's funny. He says, I'd buy that for $1. Y'all don't know where that's from? I'd buy that for $1. What do y'all know? That's old school. You know where that's from? Put that in the chat. What movie is I'll buy that for $1? Who gonna get it? Somebody gonna get it. So moving along, still with Trump. RoboCop. There she got it. Pamela got it. Pamela DeBurt got it. Robo Keezy. Robo Keezy. One of the classics. Don't make me go watch it after the goddamn live stream. RoboCop was my shit. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Yo, Roger Groves, appreciate you, brother. You said, ain't the synagogue of Satan in Atlanta? I don't know, is it? Talking about like the Satan worshipers and all that. I don't know. Only been in Atlanta once, but in the Bible in Revelations, go Google the synagogue of Satan verse in Revelations. It'll show it right there. The person who Jesus was saying was the fake Jews. And they was people who was like, oh no, they're gonna come looking like Jews, acting like they Jews, but they're not really Jews. Now, I didn't write it. That's in Revelations. Whoever wrote that, them niggas had some binoculars like a motherfucker. Like they was looking into the future like a motherfucker. Like, them damn Khazarians, they gonna try to call themselves Jews. Allegedly. He said, Murphy, is that you? Murphy, is that you? What you know about RoboCop? Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Atlanta got, hey, well, that's probably why I only been once. I shouldn't probably been that time. Came with my girl to a wedding. Went to a wedding, never been back. So moving along, Trump raises the tariffs on China again. God damn, man. So he raised them on China 100%. And the stock market said, nigga, my Tesla was like, ah. It didn't go down that bad yesterday, but damn, Trump. Bitcoin, or not all, just not Bitcoin. S&P took a dive. Excuse me. What else took a dive? The S&P, gold dropped a little bit. What else went? Everything dropped. Like most of the shit dropped. But this is a good time to buy. But Trump, the reason he did it is because he said that they're tripping on their tariffs on certain goods over there, like certain minerals and stuff like that, certain things that they need that America needs for the weapons and stuff like that. China is trying to finagle some bullshit over there. They're trying to make it harder for them to get those goods. So Trump is like, look, man, I'm not Biden, bitch. He's like, I'm not Biden, motherfucker. You gonna keep fucking me around. I'll raise these tariffs. Your economy is on the brink. We're the only people you sell to, bitch. So you better chill out, because America's making all kinds of deals, trade deals with everybody else. So that's leaving China out the game. So, like, look, man, if you don't come through, you don't come with the real, this is what you're gonna get. So now everybody blaming Trump, though, that the stock market is crashing, everything's messed up. But it's China. as he says, China. Yeah, China went to Brazil for soy. Yep. Damn General Shao chicken. He said General Shao chicken is about to go up. You know about that General Shao chicken, boy? That's hilarious. He said China has already stopped buying soybeans and corn because of tariffs. Yep. It says, if you come to Atlanta and see a lot of Skittles, then that means you're looking for. I ain't see none. I was at a wedding, but what's his name said that. So again, apparently though, if he says there's a lot there, I don't need to go back. I guess I don't need to go back. But we'll see what happens if China backs down. this is both of this is China and America again, both trying to see who got the big one. We know China. We don't be trying to do a measuring contest, China. We know. We don't know, but we allegedly China. there's some rumors out there about you, China. But just saying. He says, like the Dragon JBL headphones background. Oh, for sure. That's the that was my that's one of my backgrounds that I usually have on here. I got to get another one. I actually have about four or five of them. I just haven't gotten made into the backdrop yet, but appreciate you. So moving along, Candace Owens. Candace Owens is in the news because Candace Owens, she bought the receipts, apparently. Let's see what Candace Owens, because remember she was talking about so you know, after Charlie Kirk got killed, everybody or the government tried to put it on that Tyler dude. Everybody knew or assumed it was Israel, allegedly, right? Everybody believes that it's Israel for all the damn reasons that was coming out about Charlie Kirk moving away from Israel, them trying to put pressure on him because he had Tucker Carlson on the show, and this other dude named Dave Smith, who was also anti-Zionist. And so a whole bunch of stuff was going on. And they was then his relationship with Megyn Kelly. And they were trying to jump on him and Megyn Kelly. Then he went on Megyn Kelly and was like, yo, they tripping. And they about to force me to leave. But he stopped himself before he said leave. And so then everybody was coming out. And Candace Owens was saying that he was moving away from Israel. And like, nah, she's full of shit. She's bullshit. And everybody's saying she's lying, all this and that. And for Candace Owens to be saying that, you know, she had to have some receipts, right? Come on, man. You know, she had to be. She ain't just gonna throw herself out there, just be saying all this kind of shit. But this is what they think about melanated women. This is what I think they believe about melanated women. Because Candace Owens shows that she's a very smart, intelligent, put together person most of the time, until she starts talking about racism and shit. Then she don't know nothing. But for the most part. But for somebody like that to believe that she just unhinged, she just flew off the handle, that's a narrative they're trying to paint. They were trying to paint that narrative. So she was holding back. She was like, all right, I'm just gonna hold these cards and let y'all keep putting your foot in your mouth. And then I'm about to motherfucking throw my hand on the table and smash all you bitches. Gotta know when to hold them, gotta know when to fold them. So check this out. This is Candace with the receipts. This is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was taken out.
And the misrepresentations of people that were pretend Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, oh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes.
Look at that. Look at that. Just lost another Jewish donor. 2 million. So that proves that they was backing out on him because of Tucker Carlson. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this. He was trying to put his foot down. God damn it, fuck you, goddamn Israel, bitch. I'm not going to be bullied like this. Then he says, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause 2 days before he got smoked. This is what was in the feed.
Cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, oh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay? So what are we to make of that?
So in that, you can go, shit, hold on. Damn it, what happened? Oh. So in the, you can go watch that on her. I think that was a couple of videos ago. So in that video, in that live stream, not a live stream, but in that video, she talked about also how the day before he got smoked, that 3 people that Charlie Kirk told 3 people, and they all confirmed, 2 through text and 1 through conversation, that Charlie told them that he thinks they will kill him if he backs away from Israel. Who the hell is they? So Candace is like, yo, she's like, I confirmed this with 3 different people and have the text messages. They have the text messages. And she's like, they don't want to come out with it, but I'm imploring them to do so. I've seen the evidence. She's like, but they don't want to come out with it. So she's seen it, but she's saying that they don't want to come out with it. So she bought the receipts. They tried to say she was crazy. Charlie Kirk and her hadn't talked for years and all that. She had just went to a Turning Point event last year. Now check this out. Think about this. In that thread, it says that he goes, yo, I'm thinking about inviting Candace Owens. So this is right before that tour started, right? The first, when he got shot on the first event of that tour. So if he invites Candace on that tour right after Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith just killed it on the anti-Zionist stuff at the other Turning Point event, he has Candace Owens on this event, and he's not going to tell Candace Owens to shut up. So she's going to be on here talking crazy about New Khazaria. You think that they could have those two? First of all, Charlie Kirk backing away from what they basically groomed him. They groomed his ass to be who he was. They put the girl with him and everything, put all the money, funded him, put the girl with him, whole life. Fucking Harry Truman. Well, not Harry Truman, but was it the Truman Show? Nigga's whole life was the Truman Show. Y'all need to go see that shit. But so including the wife, because the wife was suspected of running the orphanage that was, doing the pedo stuff, funneling those kids to pedo situations, because they were coming up. Those kids were being found after they were missing from the orphanage. They were coming up being found in other countries, different places. They were like, oh, wait, didn't we leave them with you? Hey, bitch, hey, ain't we leaving with you? They're like, I don't. So they kicked her ass out, right? So they got that on her. The Khazarians got that on her. So she can't really go hardcore against the Khazarians, even though if she believes that they took him out, took out her husband, and she wants to go back hardcore on him, she can't do it because they got her. They got her under a barrel. But they don't got Candace Owens. They ain't got Candace Owens. And Candace is like, fuck this shit. So think about that. Candace Owens would have went hardcore against Nuke Azaria on this tour. They could not have that shit. So at some point in time, he was going to invite her on the tour because he had turned down the 150. Remember that? He turned down the 150. Basically told him the EAD had Tucker Carlson on his show, was going around telling people that he was not going to, you know, basically he was like, I want to support Israel, but not at the cost of supporting America. So he was like, yo, I'm moving back away from Israel because supporting Israel is becoming too costly to my support for America. So he's, I'm about to moonwalk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't have that shit. And we saw what happened. We saw now there's a whole bunch of theories going around, but the main theory that I've shown you guys was the guy in the crowd with the device who hit it like this. He hit it twice, bam, bam. And the second one is when boom, and then the mic, the lavalier mic that went off under the collar. So you can believe, y'all can see. They can tell you all the bullshit all you want. So it was getting hectic for Levi Zaddy. Had to put the brakes on the bus. So fun fact, Epstein's pedo island is in the Virgin Islands. God damn. That's crazy. Facts, he definitely was prepared for that role. Yep. Does Candace always stick? Wait, he says Candace always stick to them with receipts, or always sticks them with receipts. So, yeah, she had the receipts, and that's what was going on. Kazaria, the synagogue of Satan. Y'all better look it up. Again, it's the people who are supposed to be the Jews, calling themselves Jews, but are not the Jews. Not the Jews. There was a great video that I saw. It was actually done by this Caucasian dude breaking down the actual true Hebrews over in. So he talks about the Hebrews and how they treat the melanated Hebrews in Israel, but then going all the way back to Ethiopia and all that. Broke down the real. Oh man, I forgot the damn video, and I was supposed to show it to you guys today. Maybe I can find it in my history and show a little bit of it later on. But moving along. Oops. So we got to talk about this one thing. There was a video that came up. I was watching some nerd, I watch my nerd stuff, and a lot of nerd world is MAGA supporters. Just, is a lot of the nerd world are MAGA supporters, unfortunately. But not all of them are like racist MAGA supporters, but then some of them are. And so in one of these videos, they were talking about this dude was, oh man, did you see the We Was Ethnicities video? It breaks down all that bullshit about how black people talk about how they were all every culture in history. It breaks that bullshit down. Man, oh man, it's so good. It's so good. So now this is what they're on, because apparently this video is killing the game. So let me see if I can show a little bit of what he's talking about, because you can go through his channel, because he has a We Was series. And so this We Was Ethnicities is a compilation of all of his videos, like We Was White, We Was White People, because they trying to say black people try to say that they were the actual white people, that they were white, they were truly white people in history, and blah blah blah. And then We Was what was the other one? We Was damn it. I think they had We Was the Hebrews. They got We Was the Hebrews or something like that. I mean, so they basically go down all the culture. We Was the Romans. We Was the Vikings. So they have a whole bunch of those series and they put them all together, right? Would you say The Truman Show is a damn good movie? Yep, Barack and Kirk were groomed. Yep, straight up. I don't think Kirk knew he was groomed, though. He was truly the Truman dude. He didn't know. His whole life was put together for him. The girl, everything. All of it made for him and handed to him. And he had no idea. And then it all started to crumble on him. And he was like, oh, shit, man, what the fuck? Like, Mr. Goddamn. Oh. And they was like, God damn it, you're starting to see? Go kill him. It's like, you start to see how the room is made, how the shit is made. Oh, damn it, man. We gotta kill you. Gotta take you out. Sorry, man. You start learning the truth. It sucks for us. It really does. It sucks for you, but it really sucks for us. Like, wait a minute, huh? How does it suck for you? So moving along. So here we go. Let me see if we can find this video. Because homeboy was absolutely tripping. Let me see. Oh, here we go. So prepare to be a little pissed off for a second. We're gonna watch a little bit of this dude's video, and hopefully they don't try to strike me. But we gotta get into the depths of his claims. So let's watch.
That set the standard for all the other Red. Eric the Red wasn't from Chad. So this is the wee-wuzzery delusion that set the standard for all the other utter low IQ nonsense, the claim that the Vikings were black. The pale-haired maniacs from Scandinavia, the men who wrote sagas about axe murdering their neighbors and paddled longships to America 1,000 years ago, years before Columbus, were in fact, you guessed it, from sub-Saharan Africa. The race revisionist fan club says so it must be true. Who started this nonsense? The whole thing starts with a couple of Netflix producers deciding, in their infinite wisdom, to cast a black woman as Jarl Hakon in Vikings Valhalla. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a bit of fantasy, but when you're turning an epic Norwegian warlord into something that looks like it came out of a Nollywood blockbuster, it's not history anymore, it's pantomime. And of course, the internet ran with it. Suddenly we had overnight historians spouting off about the Blamen in Old Norse texts, which in their minds means the Vikings were African. Blamen literally meant blue men or dark foreigners, the Northmen's word for strangers they met abroad, like Moors or Ethiopians. It did not mean that Eric the Red was secretly from Chad. Now let's look at the facts. In 2020,
wait, what did you just say? Look, listen.
Which in their mind, suddenly we had overnight historians spouting off about the Blamen in Old Norse texts, which in their minds means the Vikings were African. Blamen literally meant blue men or dark foreigners, the Northmen's word for strangers they met abroad, like Moors or...
So listen, what is he saying? Look.
Men or dark foreigners, the Northmen's word for strangers they met abroad, like Moors or Ethiopians. It did not mean that Eric the Red was secretly from Chad. Now let's look at the facts. In 2020, a massive study was published in Nature where scientists sequenced the DNA of 442 skeletons from across the Viking world. You know what they found? The Vikings were, now sit down before you collapse from the revelation, Scandinavians. They clustered genetically with...
So those 444 skeletons represent the entire history of the Vikings. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get into something in a second, because this is one channel. This is this dude only got 50,000 subscribers, but he's caused quite a stir. This is what is this, Celestian Chronicles or whatever his name is, Celestine Chronicles or some shit, or no, Keltian Chronicles or some shit like that. Can't really see it; it's too small for me right now. But you guys can see it on the screen, so you can go to his channel and get pissed off at way more of his stuff. But there's also a channel that debunks it. I've told you about this channel before. It's called Without History. We're going to look at that in a second, but let's keep watching some of the claims.
With modern Norwegians, Swedes, and Danes. There were signs of mixing, of course, because the Vikings didn't just raid, they shagged their way across Europe. They picked up a bit of Irish, a bit of British, some Southern European here and there. But no, they weren't secretly Zulus in horned helmets. The closest thing they had to African ancestry was probably the goat they nicked on the way to the Mediterranean. Take the Salmi ship burial in Estonia, 4 brothers and a cousin buried together after dying in battle on a raid. DNA analysis showed they were close Scandinavian kin. Real Vikings, real family, real bloodlines. So why is it then that not a single published Viking age burial genome shows sub-Saharan African ancestry? And if you look at the...
So, first off, where do blue eyes come from? Who's the first people with blue eyes? That would be melanated people. You didn't create blue eyes, Caucasoid person. You inherited them from a melanated person with blue eyes. 10,000 years ago. That's the beginning of blue eyes. Can be traced. See, he didn't throw that in there. Blue eyes only began 10,000 years ago. Where'd you come from? Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. That's the main one they have on there. He's going to talk about that. You're going to see that part in here. The we was Moors. They're going to try to sit up here and say that black people weren't Moors. we weren't the Moors. Y'all, hold up. I'll tell you, it's going to be they tripping. Even though the word Moor means dark. For most people, it means black, but it doesn't mean black. It means dark skin, because the word black means pale or yellow. So here we go.
That not a single published Viking Age burial genome breed together after dying in battle on a raid. DNA analysis showed they were close Scandinavian kin. Real Vikings, real family, real bloodlines. So why is it then that not a single published Viking Age burial genome shows sub-Saharan African ancestry? And if you look at the traits, these men already carried the lactase persistence allele.
So we're going to get into that, why it doesn't show sub-Saharan African ancestry in a second. There's a reason for that. Couldn't be because they're not actually putting any sub-Saharan African DNA in the mix, is it? Couldn't be that, right? Nah. That ain't it. Y'all conspiracy theorists.
Meaning they could drink milk into adulthood and had pigmentation profiles consistent with modern Scandinavians, predominantly light skin, hair ranging blonde to brown to red, and plenty of blue-green eyes. Not exactly what you see in certain streaming reenactments. The whole Black Viking claim is so insulting. These were men who could row a ship across the North Sea in the middle of winter, leap ashore, burn your village, and be back home in time to sacrifice a goat to Odin. The truth is...
So they started the sailing, everybody. They were the ones who started navigation and sailing and all the rest of that shit. It was them, not the Moors. The actual navigators. Moors were actual navigators, not them. No, it was, again, everybody. They try to perpetuate this bullshit too in a movie called The Long Ships with Sidney Poitier. He was this is what's so funny. In this video, they try to say that black people weren't Moors, but there's a movie. First of all, in all the movies about Moors, the Moors are black, but especially in the 60s, there's a movie called The Long Ships. You got to go watch that movie with Sidney Poitier, The Long Ships. And he's this Moor with a fat ass, nice little flopped ass afro and shit. And he's smacking the shit out of these white motherfuckers. But then in there, they try to say that there's some Vikings that show up, and he imprisons some Vikings, and then the Vikings try to sit and one of the ladies or one of the women, one of his harem, one of the ladies in his harem falls in love with one of the Vikings, right? Yeah. So and then she says that she gives a little diatribe little script about how the Moors don't know how to sail. It's the Vikings who are the true sailors, and the Moors don't know how to sail. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the entire fuck out of here. It's absolute bullshit. So this is where we're going right now. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What'd you say? How if you are not the original man? Hey, I don't know. DNA. They got this DNA thing that they think can prove some shit. See, they didn't come up with this whole DNA bullshit that don't believe us, don't believe your eyes, don't believe the artifacts, don't believe the paintings on the wall. Believe us. When we make up this bullshit about something called DNA and haplogroups and shit like that, don't worry, that's our shit. You believe our shit. I know there's a big black motherfucker on the wall with fat ass lips and a fat ass. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't look like you. Like, wait a minute. That don't look nothing like me. You sure? Let me look. That's my grandmama right there. That don't look nothing like my grandmama. Huh? No, it doesn't. Black lips, big lips, black skin, big fucking noses. That doesn't mean you. That's the other thing. They tried to say we weren't the Olmecs either. Oh, this video is crazy. Hold up. I tell you, watch this.
Simple. Vikings were Scandinavian. But hey, give it 1,000 years, a Netflix deal, and suddenly every black man is a Viking. Doesn't matter if your ancestors were herding goats in the Sahara or chasing hyenas off a carcass. Now it's, we was Vikings. If you think the samurai were African, seek medical attention. So, while Europe was burning witches and arguing about the Pope, the Japanese had Sengoku Jidai, perfecting the art of killing each other with style. Warlords like Oda Nobunaga, Takeda Shingen, and Uesugi Kenshin built castles like stone mountains and sent their warbands clashing under banners in every valley. Out of this badassery rose the samurai, enforcers of clans like the Tokugawa and the Shimazu, men who lived and died by the sword, and occasionally...
They were copying the Moors. The samurai were copying the Moors. All right. Here we go.
Originally, by the spectacular hobby of disemboweling themselves when things went wrong, the way of the warrior. And then there was Yasuke, an African who arrived in Japan in 1579 with Jesuit missionaries. Nobunaga was fascinated, partly because Yasuke was unique, partly because half of Kyoto thought his skin had been painted and tried to scrub him down like a dirty wall. For about a year, he served Nobunaga. He was given a weapon, a stipend, maybe even a house. Now the fact that people conveniently ignore, he was never samurai. No land, no crest, no hereditary status. Japanese records don't call him samurai, they call him a servant. When Nobunaga died in 1582, Yasuke disappears from history. A brief, remarkable cameo. But of course, in the internet age, that tiny footnote has been inflated into the black.
So there was no black samurai, only the black slaves of the samurai. None of this knowledge didn't come from us. We were only marginally in history. We were just on the side pieces, even though it's proven that you were the beginning of history, but you just stayed your ass in Africa. You didn't go nowhere and didn't do shit else, but stay your ass in Africa. Okay, remember that? Remember that? You don't stay in Africa, nigga. That's all. That's the only place you been, nigga. You ain't been no other place but Africa. Like, all right. So check this out. Here we go.
Black samurai. Entire books and documentaries sell it. Social media runs with it. Video games like Neo, an anime series, reimagine him as if he was on par with Tokugawa Ieyasu. Netflix even made him the star of a whole cartoon. History as valid as the X-22 report. You know, the one that's always promising Trump's secret return any day now, forever. The genetics nail the coffin shut anyway. A 2021 study explains, our data provide evidence of a tri-ancestry structure for present-day Japanese populations. Since then, this tripartite ancestry structure has been maintained in the archipelago and become the genetic foundation of modern Japanese no sub-Saharan input. None. You can dig up every burial mound in Honshu and you won't find one samurai skull clustering with Nigeria. Unless you think haplogroups are racist, the genetics kill this fantasy stone dead. If you want to cosplay, fine. Swing a plastic sword at Comic-Con and call yourself a samurai. But of course, out go the Jomon, Yayoi, and Kofun. Out go Nobunaga, Tokugawa, and the blood-soaked chronicles.
You weren't the true samurais, niggas. You didn't come up with shit. You just copying. You didn't come up with nothing, nigga. What's wrong with you? You didn't come up with a goddamn thing, bitch. It's us white folks. Crawling on all fours through the goddamn woods. At some point in time, we got imbued with a bunch of knowledge and just jumped up and created civilization. Without you, motherfuckers. You niggas was sitting in Africa. I don't know what the fuck y'all was doing in Africa. What the fuck you doing in Africa? Like, I don't know. You were doing something in Africa. Were you throwing spears? Chucking spears? Huh, Mr. Zulu? While we were over here building the world, building civilizations, you were just chucking your spears? Like, okay. You say, no, thank you, white liars. Okay.
Comes the bedtime story. We was samurai. Basalt, not black. The Olmec head myth. So who really carved those giant Olmec heads? Africans in rowboats, or the people who actually lived there? The Americas, 15,000 years ago, vast herds of mammoth, endless forest, and then a small band of Siberian foragers stride into a new world, crossing over from Asia. That's the real start of Native American history. Because apparently we're now being told it was actually Africans who rode across the Atlantic just to chisel 12-foot Olmec basalt.
That's the true start. Wasn't you, when the land masses were connected as Pangea, you didn't come over here, or you didn't ride the current from Africa like the Phoenicians did early on and come over here. Nah, the Dogons. It's been proven these niggas are the Dogons. The Olmecs are the descendants of the Dogon, or they were the Dogons early on. The ancestors of the Dogons. Not the descendants, but the ancestors. So, yeah. Wait a minute. This don't look like, so look, they chose, this is the funniest shit. This nigga chose the most Asian Olmec head you could find, right? Niggas look like this too. Let me just say this real quick. Niggas look just like this too. Niggas look just like this. And Graham Hancock, when he first started doing a series, I forgot the name of the series, but it was in the 90s. He went, I think his first episode was when he went to South America and he started showing these Olmec heads. And then, at the end of the show, at the end of the thing, he came to the conclusion why no one talks about these Olmec heads, because at that time, no one was talking about Olmec heads. This is like 30 years ago. So no one was talking about it. But he was like, he says, the reason no one talks about these is the undeniable fact that they're clearly representing African people. They're African in structure. They're African. He was just going all over. I was like, go ahead, Graham Hancock. I was like, that was the first time I had seen Graham Hancock. He did that documentary talking about how the Olmec heads were African looking. So look at this is what they show you, right? So let me see if I can show y'all if we can do. Hold on. Olmec. Check this out. Because I love how they try to show you. I love how they try to show you this little Asian one right here. But check this out, y'all. Let's just hold on. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is, right here. Check this out. Look at this Olmec head right here. Do y'all see this? Look at that. That's an Olmec head. Who might that look like? God damn it. Now you're getting me pissed. Who might that look like? Because they're about to debunk Ivan Van Sertima in a second. Right? Because, yeah, that Olmec head, that little one-ass Olmec head he pulled up. But look at all this other shit that you not pulling up. Bam. Look at that. So, again, they're full of shit. So, as we know, but let's get back to it. I want to keep on going.
Heads with fat lips and flat noses, then disappear without leaving so much as a canoe behind. How convenient. Yet somehow on the internet, the first Americans have become the latest recruits to the Afrocentric Hall of Fame. No ethnicity is safe. Apparently, the genetic story, the archaeology, the mounds, the maze, all of it was black. And you sit there watching this crap thinking, Jesus Christ, people believe this. Do they actually believe this? Whole YouTube channels with millions of views, demented faces telling you the Olmec heads are ancient Africans. And you can see the audience nodding along, dumbfounded, like they've all had a collective lobotomy. It's like Tony Blair doesn't need digital IDs. Just give people Wi-Fi and a half-baked conspiracy, and they'll hand over their brains on a paper plate. And the ringleader of this circus, Ivan Van Sertima, a Guyanese scholar whose 1976 book They Came Before Columbus claimed Africans sailed to the Americas and taught the locals civilization. This is the intellectual standard we're dealing with. A man so desperate to prove Africa built everything that he turned Olmec stoneheads into selfies of his mates. The book has been shredded by archaeologists.
Yeah, he's just so desperate. Not that all the artifacts just look like him and his goddamn people. Nah, that ain't it. He was just walking down the street and everything like, God damn, why does shit look like me? What the fuck? No, that ain't it. I need a connection. I need my own ground. I need a history. I need to connect everything back to Africa. So if it looks slightly like me, I'm just gonna say it's from Africa. Fuck that shit. So if it slightly looks like me, it's from Africa. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's white, pale, white skin. If it has big lips, you're from Africa. I don't give a shit if you had red hair. If you got a big fucking nose, you're from Africa. Like, that's what he was doing. He was just making up shit the whole damn time, all along the way. What about, I know, and who they don't put in here is Sheikh Anta Diop. See? You can't put Sheikh Anta Diop in here, motherfucker. Why don't you do that? Sheikh Anta Diop that went around smashing on all you goddamn Caucasian archaeologists. Where he at? He not in this video. So
and geneticists for decades, but it still gets waved around like gospel by people who've never read past the title. Anyway, the myth-making always begins the same way. Look at the Olmec heads. They've got broad noses.
He keep going back to that same one.
The faces of the people who carved them. Mesoamericans. If you want to see Africa...
Look, he keep going back to that same bitch-ass Olmec head. He keep going back to that same bitch-ass Olmec head. First off, motherfucker, where you think he got the big nose and the big lips from? He didn't create it. It didn't come from him. See how they be talking this bullshit? And then, why don't you show the Bonham Pack murals? Huh? Let's go. Hold on. Let me see. Let me just see if I can. Because this motherfucker full of shit. Let me pull up some. Let me see if I can pull up. Let me see. Let me stop sharing real quick. We got to debunk this nigga the whole goddamn time along the way. Who did it look like? Wait, where the picture at? Who that look like? Huh? This is the Mayans. The Bonham Pack murals of the Mayans. Yeah. Who that look like? Bitch ass. Caucasian motherfucker. They just want to connect themselves to everything. Really? Oh, it ain't cause all these motherfucking niggas on the goddamn wall. All these nigga statues around. Nah, that ain't it. That can't be it. No, this is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So let me see. We got some more. Hold on. Let me go back. Or let's see, where's the other one? Bam, look at it. Bam, look at that. Who might that look like right there? I'm just saying. Look at this. Who that look like? I'm just saying, man. These niggas are so full of shit. Like, everybody just can't Google the goddamn artifacts and the people who live there. You and your DNA haplo bullshit. They so full of shit. We're about to break that shit down too. But let's get back to homeboy being full of shit. Hold on.
In every round cheek and wide jaw, that's on you, not on the basalt. Meanwhile, what does the science say? Ancient DNA studies produce the facts. The Handbook of North American Indians explains that the genetic evidence indicates a founding population derived from northeastern Asia. That's it. Not Africa, not Atlantis, northeastern Asia. When researchers sequenced the 12,000...
Northeastern Asia. First off, nigga, we populated Asia too, dipshit. Who you think populated Asia, idiot? These niggas just didn't pop up out of nowhere, nigga. He act like all the people around the world just popped up wherever they live. They just sprung from the ground like trees and fucking wheat. Niggas just sprung from the ground like goddamn grass. They didn't come from somewhere. So full of shit, man. He said Mexicans slang for niggas is Mayate. You can clearly see Mayate in Maya and Mayate. Yep. Absolutely. Good call. There's a missing VHS tape where Diop admitted that life came up around tropic Cancer and Capricorn. Don't forget the memoirs from Constantine. Who's that? Oh, Constantine? Is that was it? Rafinesque? Constantine. Oh, girl, damn. I mean, who is this? Damn, what is this? Konstantin Rafinesque, Konstantin von Withenau, and Leo Werner. Okay. Goddamn. Y'all, why you be trying to make me read weird-ass names when my eyes be fucked up? What the hell you doing? So, It says the sand people from South Africa went to Asia. Yes. So we got to keep going though, because he keep bullshitting.
600-year-old Anzac child in Montana, they found exactly the same thing. The Anzac child is consistent with deriving all of his ancestry from the same founding population as Central and South Americans. And the broadest sweep of the data laid out by Skoglund and Reich 2016 hammers the final nail in the coffin. All Native Americans derive from a single founding population that diverged from East Asians around 25,000.
All Native Americans derive from a single founding population that diverged from Southeast Asia around 25,000 years ago. If you don't get the entire fuck out of here. If you don't get the entire fuck out of here. When the name for the Americans over here was the copper colored, the name for American was the copper-colored Native Americans. Copper-colored, not pale Asians. How the hell did if the Native American, how did Native Americans get pale? I mean, excuse me, get melanated? You gotta explain that, motherfucker. Hold up. Man, one more. Oh, you gotta explain that. You can't get melanin from something that does not have melanin. Period. Gotta explain this right here. See, they don't have this. They have their haplogroup bullshit. That's real science. The melanin is the real science. That show you where stuff really comes from. And then all this haplogroup bullshit, nigga, knowing that the mitochondria ultimately takes you back to Africa anyway. So you know all you motherfuckers came from Africans in the first place. But all this bullshit that Africans didn't start every goddamn thing, we just shit it out. Because yeah, we shitted you out and just stayed in Africa. Okay.
Years ago. 3 independent lines of evidence, all pointing in the same from East Asians around 25,000 years ago. 3 independent lines of evidence, all pointing in the same direction. Native Americans came from Asia, not the Congo, not Mali, not Zambia. Asia. They were Asians who crossed Beringia and stayed. You're not uplifting Native Americans by claiming they were Africans, you complete imbeciles. Imagine explaining to the Maya that their pyramids don't belong to them. They were just caretakers for some mystery Gambian voyagers who vanished without a trace.
How the fuck do you think they became? How do you think they got the knowledge of how to make pyramids, idiot? What's wrong with this fool?
And if you turned up claiming to be them, you wouldn't be welcomed into the tribe. You'd be stripped naked, tied to a stake, and watching your still beating heart get offered to the gods while the drums pounded. And somehow, after all that, you'd still be daft enough to say it with a straight face. We was Native Americans. The great white playwright they want to paint over. When England was England, a town of muddy streets, timbered houses, sheep fields, and the stink of tanneries drifting down the lanes. Out of this world came William Shakespeare, son of John the Glovemaker and Mary Arden, a farmer's daughter. Just a white Warwickshire boy with ink on his fingers who would go on to dominate world literature. Honestly, sometimes being English feels like a cheat code. And dominate he did. Hamlet gave us a prince so indecisive, he takes 4 acts to kill his uncle, and in the meantime stabs the wrong man hiding behind a curtain. Macbeth handed us a Scottish warlord stupid enough to take career advice from 3 old crones round a cauldron. And honestly, who in their right mind builds a kingdom on the words of witches, and then spend his reign seeing ghosts at dinner like a lunatic? King Lear put an aging monarch centre stage, removed from his kingdom by 2 treacherous daughters, while the one honest child got shoved aside. Proof, if you needed it, that bad parenting is timeless. But apparently, we've all been reading him wrong, because according to the race studies priesthood, forever converting facts into dogma, people like Annie Alumba, who insists Shakespeare must be read through colonial and racial lenses, Kim F. Hall, who claimed Elizabethan England was already obsessed with race and blackness, and Ayanna Thompson, who treats the bard as a stage for modern identity politics, the great bard of Avon wasn't English at all. He was clearly black, the sub-Saharan kind. Yes, the man whose bust still sits in Holy Trinity Church, alabaster-faced, with his receding hairline carved in stone, was apparently a lost son of Africa. What utter codswallop. What the actual texts tell us is very different. The Oxford Handbook of Shakespeare and Race quotes verse of the time. Choose rubies out until thou match thy lips.
First off, in reality, Shakespeare wasn't even really a dude. It was really more like a bunch of writers who came together as Shakespeare. That's the Rosicrucians. The Rosicrucians back in the day used to go above ground and underground. Where's the So this guy, Pascal Beverly Randolph. Have you guys ever heard of this guy? He was the head of the Rosicrucians back in the day. Look at his brother. Look at his suit. Back in the 1800s. Pascal Beverly Randolph. Excuse me, head of the Rosicrucians. But the Rosicrucians are an order that they usually go above ground and underground. They come up above ground, meaning they're seen in public for a certain amount of time. Then they go underground and they commit certain works and certain things underground with pseudonyms, with what they call pen names, nom de plume. What is it? What do they call? How do you say it in French? Nom de plume or some shit like that. But they're pen names, and Shakespeare was supposed to be one of them, allegedly. Now, do I know that for a fact? No, but all the information goes back to Shakespeare not really being a person. He was more of a bunch of writers that took the name of Shakespeare in the group of the Rosicrucians. So here we go.
Pearl till thy teeth, and ivory.
Oops, sorry, let me put it back.
Race quotes verse of the time. Choose rubies out until thou match thy lips, pearl till thy teeth, and ivory till thy skin be matched in whiteness, but that will never be. Whiteness was beauty. Paleness was ideal. This wasn't subversive. It was the standard of the world Shakespeare breathed every day. And look at how he used imagery himself. When Romeo...
Whiteness was beauty! You hear? Whiteness is beauty!
first sees Juliet, he gushes, oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night, like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows. Juliet is a pearl against darkness, a snowy dove among crows. That isn't Shakespeare slipping in some secret black pride. It's him hammering home the cultural obsession with white beauty. Meanwhile, the evidence of Shakespeare's own life is overwhelming. We have the Droeshout engraving in the first folio.
Yeah, so somebody said Sir Francis Bacon. Yes, Sir Francis Bacon is supposed to be what's known as Shakespeare, but he was also a Rosicrucian. But also, Sir Francis Bacon was supposed to be the son of Queen Elizabeth and one of her confidants who was a Moor. So that's who Francis Bacon was. And also, look up something called Bacon cipher. So, because back in the day, they used to write with something called with a code. And so everyone had their certain type of code that they would write by. And so Francis Bacon wrote in code. So whenever you would see a Francis Bacon letter or something like that, it never said what you thought it did. Also, it's the same way in the Bible. They have ciphers and codes. So if you make certain masons and stuff, they can fold pages in certain ways and connect words and get a whole new understanding of the Bible. So that's the kind excuse me. So that's kind of how it was with him. Again, Bacon cipher. Okay, look that up, and they'll bring up the cipher and his whole cipher and how he broke things down. But everything is code. Everything was coded back in the day.
Chandos portrait, the Stratford funerary bust. They all show the same pale, balding English.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So So let's see. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can share the screen. All right. So you see this right here? Bacon cipher, excuse me. Bacon cipher or Baconian cipher is a stenographic method of hiding a secret message within a normal looking cover text. Invented by Sir Francis Bacon around 1605, it is a binary cipher that relies on the two distinct appearances of typefaces for each letter. The secret message is not in the words themselves, but in the style in which they are written. And so I kind of studied this for a minute. It's actually pretty dope. If you go study his cipher, it's pretty dope. But you learned his name in Bacon cipher meant free. Like he was like like Freemasons and stuff like that. But his name meant free. Like even his name Francis means free. And Bacon in Bacon cipher also means free. So go look that up. Little something if y'all didn't know about Bacon cipher. So let's get back to this dumbass. we almost done.
Unless the Elizabethans had photoshopped and decided to whitewash him in advance, what you see is what you got. William Shakespeare's plays already tower over almost everything else written in English. If you want to celebrate him, read Hamlet. If you want to dress like him, wear a ruff. But if you want to rewrite him into a black nationalist bedtime story, what exactly are you celebrating? Shakespeare or yourself? But of course, we was Bill Shakespeare. The Ministry of Ridiculous Histories presents We Was Berbers. Spain, 711. A bunch of Visigoths are squabbling like idiots, and across the water comes an army of Berbers from Morocco, led by Arab generals who actually know how to read a map. They smash the Visigoths, take the land, and for centuries turn Iberia.
First off, Berber is a language. It's not a people. That's the first thing. Berber is a language. Just like word Arab means desert nomad. It's not a people. See how if you understand etymology and you start going back, all you gotta do is language and all the rest of that shit. See, the history is in the people and the language and the food and all the rest of that, not in the goddamn your bullshit ass haplogroup that you don't understand anything about. And you sitting there, well, the haplogroup over here says, the haplogroup over there says that these people can. Who are they actually testing? You think they're getting some people from way back, the historical people? They're digging them up. No, those 400 skeletons that they found over in Scandinavia for the Vikings, that represents the whole history of Scandinavia, guys. Well, if that's the case, the two skeletons they just found over in England, the two Moors, the two skeletons from Africa that they found that were Moors, then that says that all of Africa, all of England was populated by Moors. If we can do that, we can do that each way around. We can find a couple of skulls and then say, oh, this means that. Because we found two skulls here, that means that. Okay, so here we go. We weren't Moors now, everybody. This is the Berber, meaning Moors. The very word that means black or dark. We weren't that.
Into Al-Andalus, a mix of palaces, libraries, mosques, and the odd public beheading. These were the Moors, North African, Arab, Berber, the lot.
So again, I love how the sun don't shine, that you don't darken the same way in North Africa as you do in Southern Africa or middle sub-Saharan Africa. You get way black, you get black as shit in sub-Saharan Africa, but you go lift a little bit up this way, you don't get that dark. The sun ain't that hot. Wait a minute, what the fuck? The sun ain't just as hot as it is in Northern Africa as it is in Middle Africa, huh? You don't need as much melanin in Northern Africa as you do in Middle and Southern Africa. Does that make any goddamn sense? And look at the people they show in this bitch. Why don't you show the dark-skinned, black-ass Moors? Let me show y'all something. Let me see if I can find this. Y'all need to go watch this video. If I can find, when I find it, hold on. Goddamn. See, that got me pissed. Hold up. This video is called When the Moors Ruled Europe. You need to go watch it. So hold on. Hold on. We play a little bit of this for a second. Check this out.
The year is 1492. Christopher Columbus is about to embark on his world-shattering voyage to the Americas. And on his way to the coast, he stops off here at Granada. He's the honoured guest at a ceremony hosted by the King and Queen of Spain, Ferdinand and Isabella.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the part in it where they show the black Moors.
They are celebrating.
So in this, she's like a professor at a college, and in this documentary, I'm trying to find it, where they start showing all the dark-skinned Moors, and she said that the reason that they weren't talked about in history was because they were black Moors. The dark-skinned menacing Moor who came in. She talks about all of that. This lady right here is a historian who talks about how the Moors didn't lose. She's in Spain, and not a historian. She is a historian, but her family kept records, and she has all these are scrolls from way back then, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that talked about how the Moors didn't lose Spain by force. They were basically a bunch of land deals and stuff like that happened. That's how they lost Spain. They weren't moved out of Spain by force. So, man, but there was one part in here where where is it at?
This was a resource like no other in the rest of Europe. It was intellectual dynamite.
Damn it. First of all, this is one of the dopest videos that you will see on the Moors ever. This is one of the dopest videos you will see on the Moors ever. But I can't find it's pretty long. It's about an hour, 2 hours long, and I can't find the exact part in there where she really goes in. Most of it is about the history and the science of the Moors, but then she goes in on how they were the dark-skinned Moors, and this is why history doesn't want to talk about them that much. And now she's a fucking historian, she's a teacher. And she goes and studies she goes there, all this motherfucking haplogroup bullshit you keep talking about. She studies this, she teaches it. So go watch this video again. When the Moors ruled in Europe, not Spain, Europe. When the Moors ruled in Europe. There it is right there. Yeah, you seen it? You seen it, Roger Gross? You seen that documentary? I've been talking about it for a long time. I don't know if I sent other people there, but you got to watch that documentary for sure. You have to watch that documentary. But back to Dumbass real quick, and we're going to finish up with him. Talking about we weren't Moors.
Berbers, the people who've been hanging around Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia for thousands of years. And honestly, since when did hanging around North Africa translate into straight outta Compton? They were dark-skinned in the same way Italians are dark-skinned after 2 weeks on holiday in Marbella.
Look at him trying to clown. Putting NWA, Eazy-E, and Ice Cube in turbans. Yes, that would have been them. I love how they like because the way they supposedly were pale and red hair. What would they have said about Steph Curry? If Steph Curry, if artifacts that came up and it all came up looking like Steph Curry, what would they say? Steph, right off the bat, they would say Steph Curry without any DNA evidence and all the rest of that shit. They would say Steph Curry is Caucasian. Without a doubt, they would say he was European, some type of Arab or some bullshit. Yeah, she called them the diabolical Moor. That's exactly what she is. You did see it. All right, Roger Gross. You did watch it. That's what's up, baby. He did what she said, the diabolical Moor. When they put eye makeup on Eazy, yeah. Straight up. He said, Ice Cube looks like the old Meg head he kept referring to. It does, actually. He sure does. He actually does. Straight up. So, you weren't Moors.
Not Zulus, not Yoruba, not anything you'd find in an NWA video. The genetics make this crystal clear. As one study put it, using SNP data from 2,099 individuals in 43 populations, we show that estimates of recent shared ancestry between Europe and Africa are substantially increased when gene flow from North Africans rather than sub-Saharan Africans is considered. The gradient of North African ancestry accounts for previous observations of low levels of sharing with sub-Saharan Africa and is independent of recent gene flow from the Near East. As one PNAS study by Bottigue et al. In 2013 put it, translation, if you think the Moors were black Africans, congratulations, you failed GCSE biology. The actual genetic link is North Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa barely registers unless you're talking about the odd slave brought across the desert on the back of a camel. And let's be honest, that's not exactly a mass migration, is it? And just to hammer the point home, the same study drops this gem. Genetically diverged from sub-Saharan populations. For example, the Moorish Berber conquest in Iberia began in the 8th century Common Era and lasted for more than 500 years. This conquest has been suggested as a potential source of gene flow from North Africa toward the Iberian Peninsula. The Y chromosome haplogroup E3b2m 81 distribution is in agreement with recent North African gene flow at that period. In other words, the DNA agrees with the history books. It's Berber fingerprints all over Iberia, not the ghost of Mansa Musa showing up with a caravan of gold. Haplogroup E-M81 is practically...
Berber is not a race. They're not a genetically, it's a language. They're not a people. Idiot. Berber is a language.
A Berber calling card. It's not found in sub-Saharan Africa in any meaningful frequency, but it is absolutely dominant in North Africa. That's the genetic equivalent of a giant neon sign saying these were Maghrebi people, not Nigerians. The Berbers, conquerors, not saints, not enlightened multicultural mascots.
Look how he shows try to show the pretty looking the Berbers. They were conquerors, not the Caucasian conquerors, the pale conquerors.
Just guys with swords and a plan. In 711, Tariq ibn Ziyad didn't bring civilization. He dragged an army.
This is Tariq, y'all. That's Tariq, everybody. That's Tariq that came in and smashed on the goddamn Caucasian the Caucasian people in Spain for 800 years. It wasn't 500 years. It was 700 and some odd years, close to 800 years. And this is him.
Army across the strait, kicked the Visigoths' teeth down their throats and said, yeah, we live here now. Sure, they built some palaces, wrote some poetry, and figured out how to move water without praying. Great. But the rest of the time, they were cutting each other's heads off over which cousin got to wear the crown that week. Al-Andalus was a schizophrenic circus, algebra lectures in the afternoon, knife fights in the alley by sunset. So next time someone parrots the Moors were black line, just remember the DNA, the haplogroup.
Now, you see how he didn't show any of these pictures from Image of the Black, the book Image of the Black in Western art, because that art is not painted by melanated artists. Those are European artists depicting the Moors of that time. Ass white. So what about that haplogroup shit? What about the haplogroup then? See how they full of shit? But again, we got somebody to debunk that. Let me show just a real quick breakdown. Oops. Hold on. All right, here we go. Now, we just starting off with this with this artifact alone. We weren't left all over we didn't leave depictions of ourselves, images of ourselves all over the place to show who we were, so that you couldn't do this goddamn bullshit haplogroup shit. I believe this is why our ancestors left this shit, so that they couldn't write some stuff up and just try to turn you into somebody else with some words, with some bullshit word science. No, nigga, look at this. Look at this big black motherfucker here with this big black nose and these big ass lips. That don't look nothing like you, Caucasian person. So you should really support these guys. I'm one of their patrons. So I help pay for this goddamn video. God damn it. But this is a Caucasian dude who owns this channel, I believe, because before his videos were a Caucasian guy making them. And I think this guy's AI, or he just may have hired somebody, a brother, to come in and talk about the science because it may be more palatable coming from a brother, talking about the ancient cultures being melanated, if it's coming from a brother, than a Caucasian dude. I actually think it makes it more believable coming from a Caucasian dude because he's not caping for his people. He's just telling the truth. But I think this might be AI though. So let's check this out. This is him breaking down us.
Egypto, Negroid, and the early inhabitants of North Africa were what Greek historians tell us were Egyptians, or more precisely, very black people. And there's another piece of evidence from this paper that proves my accusation of their dishonesty, how they set up their comparisons in clusters, because there's a gargantuan shell game going on there. All right, let's break down what their use of PCA leads to. But don't worry, I'll break it down. The study uses something called PCA, principal component analysis, and other genetic clustering methods to analyze how these ancient individuals relate to various reference populations. Here's the thing. The references they chose were 1,196 present-day West Eurasian and North African individuals. Notice anything missing? Where are the black sub-Saharan Africans? Nowhere to be found.
Oh! No sub-Saharan Africans. And remember, this is a Caucasian dude making this. Even though you see a black dude on the screen. Yeah, he's an AI op.
They deliberately did not include any clearly sub-Saharan African groups in their main PCA reference panel. North Africans, yes, but those are groups like Berbers or modern-day Northern Egyptians. Any ancient person with a bit of deeper African ancestry would not neatly cluster with any reference point because that axis doesn't account for it. At best, such a person would appear as a slight pull towards the North African end, since some...
See? No sub-Saharan, they didn't integrate it into the study. Let's go back again. Let's hear him say that again. I'm gonna go back a little bit before this.
In the same way the Phoenicians were hoping that when African Americans go to Ghana and South Africa, demographic, detectable Levantine ancestry, really African either, just local. Mediterranean folks with a Phoenician veneer. The authors even posed the question themselves. How on earth did Phoenician language and culture get adopted by people with no detectable Levantine ancestry? And their hypothesis is basically that, from day one, those crafty Phoenician colonists mixed with so many locals that within a century or two, the locals took over demographically. Well, I have a better explanation. The reason Carthage became the biggest and most numerous and most successful Phoenician colony is because they weren't rejected. And they weren't rejected because they were the same stock. The same way that when African Americans go to Ghana and South Africa today, they blend in so much they are accepted. The same way that Romans are more ready to accept Greek gods without modifying them too much. In the same way the Phoenicians were wholesome, accepted by the black Africans of early history Tunisia, because both groups were black. And it's easy to conclude because the archaeological evidence says so too. The cranium of early Phoenicians were what we call Nubio Egypto.
Yo, Conceptual Elixirs, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. Thank you, bro. Always hooking me up. Appreciate you, bro.
Negroid, and the early inhabitants of North Africa were what Greek historians tell us were Egyptians, or more precisely, very black people. And there's another piece of evidence from this paper that proves my accusation of their dishonesty, how they set up their comparisons in clusters, because there's a gargantuan shell game going on there. All right, let's break down what their use of PCA leads to. But don't worry, I'll break it down. The study uses something called PCA, principal component analysis, and other genetic clustering methods to analyze how these ancient individuals relate to various reference populations. Here's the thing. The references they chose were 1,196 present-day West Eurasian and North African individuals. Notice anything missing? Where are the black sub-Saharan Africans? Nowhere to be found. They deliberately did not include any clearly sub-Saharan African groups in their main PCA reference panel. North Africans, yes, but those are groups like Berbers or modern-day Northern Egyptians. Any ancient person with a bit of deeper African ancestry would not neatly cluster with any reference point because that axis doesn't account for it. At best, such a person would appear as a slight pull towards the North African end, since some North Africans have a small sub-Saharan component historically. In other words, if one of those Carthaginian skeletons had, hypothetically, 70 to 85% ancestry from, say, a sub-Saharan source, maybe via Nubian contacts or Saharan traders, the PCA would just show them as slightly more North African. It wouldn't scream, hey, this person has an unusual African component, because the comparative yardstick has been calibrated to miss it. That's the shell game. You set up the analysis in a way that certain outcomes, inconvenient ones, will be smoothed over. And sure enough, what do they report? They say the Punic individuals scatter broadly.
So this is how they're doing. So he breaks this down on a bunch of other DNA analysis that they do test. So he knows that's how they're trying to debunk melanated people being the ancestors of all cultures, basically, mostly all cultures. I'm saying all cultures. But Brandon Terry, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. Hold on, let me come back. So the reason I'm showing you this is because he breaks down how they don't put the sub-Saharan African in the study. So of course you're gonna miss it when you try to say, well, there's no sub-Saharan African in this study. Well, you didn't add them. Of course there's none in there because you didn't put them in there, bitch. Excuse me. So what you said? Duh, of course, OP would omit the vet groups. Okay. They continually try to erase from history. Yep. Yep, they sure do. So homeboy, if you go to his channel, he debunks all their bullshit. Like this dude's channel without history is off the chain. And I suggest everybody go check that channel out because I'm a patron and I pay for them damn videos. So somebody need to watch them. But because he's breaking it off though. He really is breaking it off. And again, they can't get over the melanin science. This is the one thing that they can't get over. Melanin is what you can track throughout history. That's the true thing that you can track throughout history is melanin production. Because people who don't have melanin externally can't produce it. They can't produce it in an offspring. They can't give it to somebody in an offspring if they don't have it. However, two completely church shoe black sub-Saharan Africans can have a completely Caucasian, blue-eyed, green-eyed, blonde-haired baby. Absolutely. They have them all the time. In Africa, I've showed this. I talked about this. I didn't have the video thing going back in the day, but I talked about how the Africans, there's a small group of albinos over in Africa that are persecuted. They're kidnapped and killed, and then their bodies are dehydrated and ground into a powder because albinos are supposed to be magical. So they cut off their limbs and fucking sell them. So homeboy was full of shit that we was all of that. And you can see it on the wall, and you doing some damn DNA haplo bullshit is not going to erase them goddamn pictures on the wall. It's not going to erase the melanin in the skin. And you damn sure didn't do anything on that science. Where's your melanin science? About all them damn people in North Africa just chilling in the sun with no melanin? Fuck out of here. He's so full of shit. So it's Clinton Bigsby said, white man made melanin. White power. White power. You understand? White power. Oh, nigga, Dave Chappelle. They tripping on Dave Chappelle because he went to Saudi Arabia and did a goddamn a comedy show. Saudi Arabians be beating on their women and they don't allow their women to speak and all this and that. How dare you? You go over there because on stage he said they have more freedom of speech in Saudi Arabia than, or I think it's not Saudi Arabia, it's like Dubai or somewhere. Maybe it was Saudi Arabia, but they have more speech over there than they do over in America because at the time when he went over, they were shutting down. They had just shut down Jimmy Kimmel for saying something about Charlie Kirk, so he was going off of that. And so then they tried to jump on Dave Chappelle. I lost Dave Chappelle. He's lost me and blah 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 and this and that. Dave Chappelle don't need you, bitch. He didn't ask you to come nowhere. When did Dave Chappelle ask for your support? What the fuck are you talking about? He don't need your bitch ass. So, just saying. Moving along, the DOJ has found that they found that the Palisades fires out in California was started by an arsonist from Melbourne, Florida. Goddamn. This nigga done drove all the way to California to burn California down? The fuck, dude? The hell wrong with you, bitch? So he was an Uber driver over here, and apparently for a whole week he was listening to some French song that translated the chorus translated to burn everything down. Now, is this MK Ultra dude? Is this MK Ultra? Because after he set it on fire, he said because apparently after he set it on fire, he tried to put out the fires, and then he called the fire department. Yo, Broderick Enoch, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. Appreciate you, man. He called he called the fire department. Why would you set something ablaze on fire and then call the fire department? Does that make any goddamn sense? But apparently they say they got him. Now, that sounds like MK Ultra to me like a mug. Straight up. Because it sounds like he set the fire and didn't understand why he set the fire. And then his conscience came back and was like, oh shit, what the fuck I just do? And then the bad part is when he called the fire department, they didn't believe him. They didn't believe him. Had they believed him, they could have stopped the fires immediately. When he called like a couple of times and they didn't believe him. And then a neighbor had to finally call after the shit was blazed all up. The neighbor called, oh shit. Neighbor, oh my God. Oh yeah, bitch. Been trying to tell you for the last goddamn hour, motherfucker. So that's how come California burned down, because MK Ultra dude, I believe, some dude on the MK Ultra side of the game, set the fires and then woke up after his implanted thought, his implanted mission, and was like, oh shit, what'd I do? And couldn't stop it. He says, oh man, I read the story where this albino woman sold her albino daughter to a medicine man for $10,000 where they killed her and used her body for medicine. Yeah, but they do that, but they also kidnap them. They kidnap them. So this one lady, she got her arms cut off for trying to save her baby. You can that video is actually on YouTube. This one woman, she's an albino. They cut her arms off because they were trying to take her baby, and they cut her arms off because she was trying to save the baby. Messed up. So she walking around albino chick with no arms. So it's messed up over in Africa, man. For if you born albino, it's real over there. So moving along, goddamn, psyop like a mug. burnt down my goddamn city, bitch. Fucking MK Ultra, motherfucker. But apparently they're just this is him, and then the investigation is over. So we're not going to find out who really started this goddamn fire, because what they're doing now is putting in they burned down all those homes, and now they're putting in public housing. Not public housing, but multifamily housing, basically like apartments. But it is affordable housing. So they basically burnt all those rich people out of the Palisades and about to put a whole bunch of probably illegal immigrants in those damn buildings down in Malibu and shit, which is fucked up. But hey, moving along, in Skittle news, National Trust puts this is crazy. So this is in the UK, I think. Hold on. Yeah, I think this is UK. So this is crazy. So National Trust puts wait, whoa. What was this? Hold up. I gotta make sure. Where was this? Hold up. I think this is in England. I gotta think this is in England. But here we go. This story is crazy. So National Trust puts vegan tampons in the men's toilet at Castle. This is England, at Castle near Lake Windermere, shocking a 79-year-old male visitor. What the fuck? Vegan tampons? Who eating them? Now I understand, like, vegan tampons, so the plastics in tampons get in women's blood and they cause problems. So you shouldn't, if you are, this is for the ladies, you should not be using those tampons. You should be using, if you can get them, natural tampons, stuff like that, because the plastic in the tampons is what's causing the HPV allegedly, and all the rest of that stuff. So, you know, the cervix, the big C cervix stuff and all the rest of that. So replace your, you know, the TPs with organic. Having said that, what the fuck are they doing in the men's bathroom? Huh? What the fuck are vegan tampons doing in the men's bathroom? What the he said, bruh. He said, bruh, aren't Caucasians really all albino? Not necessarily, no. If they tan, they have melanin. Melanin comes in 4 stages in the melanocyte, which is the melanin cell. It's developed in 4 stages. Caucasian people, most Caucasian people are either at 1 or 1.5, sometimes 2. If they can really get tan, like you see those Caucasian people really get them tan lines and shit like that, they're kind of at around a 1.5 to a 2. Then you start to move into 1 point, you know, the upper 1.7s and that, then 2s and all that. So that's when you start to look like Hispanics and you know, the Native Americans and all the rest of that. Then you move into the 3. Excuse me, you move into 3. I'm like a 3 on the scale. I would be like a 3. And then you move into the 3s. That's darker than me. I'm more like a reddish brown. So then you get darker than me, and then 4. And that's the sub-Saharan, that's the Africans. That's the sub-Saharan Africans. So if they tan, they're in one of the stages of melanin. However, if they don't tan, then they're calcified, and the melanin production doesn't work in the cell at all. But they do have neuromelanin, which is internal. Neuromelanin, everybody's like, I thought black people only got neuromelanin. Neuromelanin means melanin of the nervous system. Everyone has a nervous system. So your nervous system is coated with melanocytes to help to send the signals back and forth, to help receive and send signals back and forth along the nervous system. So, like I said, moving along, why in the hell, though, is vegan tampons in the men's bathroom? What the fuck are they doing? The National Trust has faced a I guess this is in England, something called the National Trust, has faced a fierce backlash after it placed a dispenser for vegan tampons in the men's toilet at one of its sites. That's a hell no. Male visitors to Siggers Castle in the Lake District were left confused, to say the least, by a large box packed with free sanitary products hanging on the wall near the urinal. They're like, what the fuck? The fuck is this shit? So it said a sign on the box reads, "Got a period situation going on?" Remember, this is the man bathroom, y'all. Got a period situation going on? Hell to the no. We got you. No, you don't. And a disposal bin labeled with a male icon was also positioned nearby. Restore Trust, a campaign group which aims to revert the National Trust focus back to its core purpose, has it out at the Woke Edition. What the hell is the Woke Edition? So again, this is the National Trust. They have it out at the Woke Edition. That's what it says in the article. So let's see. Cornelia Vanderpoel, Restore Trust co-founder, said National Trust role was to preserve historic buildings, not to provide sanitary products. Thank you. God damn it. The box appeared to have one dispenser for tampons, another for incontinence pads. The hell is an incontinence pad? What the hell is that? These pads, we're about to find out. These pads can be used by prostate cancer patients following surgery. One 79-year-old visitor said he was left confused by the presence of tampons in the male toilet. No shit. In the male toilet, pointing out that there are mixed facilities nearby, as well as a female-only toilet. Like, why you put them in here? On the man, no, in the man's only bathroom. Put that shit in the mixed bathroom or the women's bathroom. What the hell you doing? And while he appreciated prostate bins, you just got leaky booty after you get prostate cancer or something? What the hell? What? Oh. Just go on. Hey, man, just go on. Just give it up after that. God damn. You got leaky booty after prostate cancer. Just give it up, man. Hey, it's over. And, hey, no. God damn. He said he was surprised by a green box asking about period problems. I went out, and this is him quoting. I went outside and put my head outside the door. I wanted to check if I had used the wrong toilet. He said I was confused, and it led to a great deal of discussion with my wife and friends as why tampon pads were put into the toilet. Now, these are prostate pads or prostate ponds. Not tampons. You got prostate ponds for leaky booty. After you get boy, you better start eating right. I'll tell you that right now. Or you better start doing the do. Y'all know the do. You start, hey. Let me tell you. Doing the do, y'all know what I'm talking about. Men know what I'm talking about. But doing the do, handling your business, man, at least 20 times a month prevents prostate cancer. That's science. That's scientific. If you handle your business at least 20 times a month, that's with a female or without, but you gotta bust about 20 times a month. That prevents prostate cancer. Yeah, milk. What do you say, milk? There you go. There you go. For lack of a better term, yeah. Women who claim to be men using the men's bathrooms, and yes, that's what that's for. Yes, that's why it's in Skittle news. It's for the Transformers, the Transformer men. Let me say. But prostate ponds, I never heard of that shit. Not tampons, but you got prostate ponds? Oh man, never heard of that shit. He said, this is why I'm polyamorous for health reasons. For health reasons. Oh man, prostate ponds. Just goddamn. Just hey, keep it away from the men's bathroom, please. Come on, man. Now I wonder if somebody who has had cancer, is that a real problem? That you just got leaky booty and you just all of a sudden you just start leaking no matter where, and you need to go to the bathroom? Because if that's a problem, that's crazy. I never heard of that before. I never heard of that. Prostate leaky booty. But I guess it is a problem. So whoa. Moving along, a Transformer group vandalized a feminist conference in Brighton as they vow a new era of trans rage is coming. We thought we got past this, y'all. They said, fuck that. Hell no. There's a new era. There's a new sheriff in town. Where that from? Now that's the easy one. There's a new sheriff in town. Y'all got to know where that's from. But they said, hell no, there's a new era of trans rage is coming. It's coming. It's a coming. A transformer activist group which vowed to bring forth a new era of trans rage have vandalized a feminist conference in Brighton. Would you get it? There's new. No, 40. There you go. Amir got it. 48 hours. Not Blazing Saddles. That's Eddie Murphy when he went to the country bar and gangstered off on all them goddamn redneck motherfuckers. Y'all don't remember that? That's the best goddamn scene in the whole movie. Went in there, put that damn hat on, got the straw. There's a new sheriff in town. Shout out to Eddie. But members of Bashback, a movement dedicated to combating the rising tide of bigotry in the UK, have targeted the Brighton Center, Philia, F-I-L-I-A, Philia. This is the organization. The Brighton Center Philia Women's Liberation Conference being today. The 3-day event is expected to attract over 2,400 delegates for what the charity describes as Europe's biggest grassroots feminist conference. However, Bashback claimed the conference will see TERFs. That's that's the thing that they call Dave Chappelle TERF. What is it? Trans something revolution. Damn, what is it? Trans something. It stands for trans something, but basically the people who believe radical feminists. That's a trans evolutionary radical feminist, something like that. But I know the R and the F stands for radical feminist. I forgot what the E stand for. But that's what they was calling Dave Chappelle. There's somebody who believes that real women are women. That's it. They call them a TERF. You believe that natural born women are real women, they call you a TERF. Sometimes they try to call you out your name. But Backbash claimed the conference will see TERFs gather every year to gloat about attacks on bodily autonomy and trans people's safety. When they mean bodily autonomy, they mean kids, because nobody's tripping on adults. You want an adult, you want to do that shit, do it. Go ahead and do it. Just keep it away from me. But you're talking about kids. Adding, it will play host to some of the most vicious transphobia in pop politics. The group also posted a video of the incident with hooded protesters seen covering the venue in pink paint and smashed out its windows. Trans activists have smashed one of the large front windows in Brighton Center, the venue where 2,500 feminists are meeting this weekend to talk about male violence. Really? Male violence? Misogyny and the like. Adding, why can't everyone see this movement for what it is? So this is a trans person saying the feminist movement is full of shit because look it, they man hating. They full of shit. They man hating and they transformer hating. So they're just a big ass hate group because they hate on transformer people, but they also hating on men. See, look at this shit. And so then, are they right though? Because now what I see is you got the Karens, the feminist Karens, and the transformer Karens fighting each other. Did anybody give a damn? Should we just let them self-destruct? Both of them damn groups, the toxic feminists and the toxic transformers. We should just let them self-destruct. But what got me in the story, what'd you say? Boy, he says, you always know when white folks come up with some ish because they're going to name it, then abbreviate it. He said they're going to name it, then abbreviate it. That's hilarious. Let me see if I forgot anybody on the cash app. No, I didn't. Appreciate y'all, man. And make sure y'all got to make sure you get out here and support, man. Support! You heard it. Get over there and support rapstrology.com. You can go straight to the store for Rapstrology. Appreciate y'all, man. And you know you got to get over to Know Your Rights Foundation as well, because we got
Pause where we can see him, mister. Don't twitch.
You're being detained for prowling behind the fish market, okay? Just stay chill.
Chill? You two look like you just graduated from the Acorn Academy.
Graduation or not, these cuffs fit. Anything sharp on you?
You got to learn your rights. They out here getting everybody. Squirrel cops getting cats. Everything is out here. Everything is going on.
Now there tastes good with a side of oak barrel, baby.
Unit 4 in pursuit. Suspect is a squirrel? Red convertible. Pull the vehicle over now.
Can't hear you over my freedom in this engine.
Again, dispatch.
Can't hear you over my freedom in this engine. The squirrels is getting persecuted out there, everybody. You better learn your rights. The squirrels need to learn their rights too, but you better learn your rights. Let's see. What does Martin Luther King has to say, everybody? What does Martin Luther King got to say?
I have a dream that everyone will visit and join KYRF.org.
That's right, goddammit. You tell him, Martin Luther the King. You tell him, tell him again, Martin Luther the King.
I have a dream that everyone will visit and join KYRF.org.
That's right, goddammit. Get over to knowyourrightsfoundation.org, seriously, and sign up as a volunteer. Make sure, when you sign up as a volunteer, you get the email back that you fill out the questionnaire, because we do need to know who the hell you are. Make sure you're not crazy. Send that back, and then we will send you an interview time. If you want to get in for next week's interview time, make sure you hit us up now if you want to get into the interview class for next week. So we only do one a month at this time, because there's so much we're doing. So if you want to get in for this month, make sure you get over to KYRF.org, sign up. We will teach you the law for free. You understand? But you got to go back out there and work.
Every day, millions of people travel, work, and care for their families without knowing all the rights the Constitution gives them.
The Know Your Rights Foundation offers free trainings, resources, and community events to make sure your rights are never a mystery.
Get your butt on over there. All right. So, yeah, the Transformers is crazy. The new trans era of rage is what got me on that story. Because usually I don't really trip on feminist Karens and Transformer Karens fighting each other. Hey, what they got to do with me? Oh, knock each other out. Take each other out the game. That's what we got to deal with. However, when you say you're about to institute a new era of Transformer rage, we ain't about to do that. We not about to do that. But we are about to go get this Rapstrology, though, ain't we?
Leo in the sky with the fire so royal, burning bright, never dim, yeah, we shining loyal. Heart of a line, gold chain on my chest. Spinning, I'm just reading they flows. Look up, every sign got lines of its own. Rapstrology. I rhyme like a constellation, bars in rotation, cosmic elevation, tap in. Stars line up, let the bars go off. I read the sky, then I write it in a flow that's raw.
Because the universe always has bars. Level up your look at rapstrology.com.
You heard him, goddammit. Get on over there. Get your Rapstrology. Boom. Volume 1. Volume 2. Hook it up. All right. Moving along. In the science and the weird. Hold on. Oops. What'd you say? Universe. The universe always has bars. I used to rap like that before. That's hilarious. Don't be hating. All right. So in the science and the weird, alien DNA was found inside humans. That's what they said. Alien DNA found inside humans. It was inserted into our genes. A bonkers new study claims. So here we go. Now they're trying to come with it. The alien. Now we're part alien. See how they're trying to sprinkle the truth on us every little bit at a time. Alien this, alien here, alien there. We ain't even got to the damn football field size alien ship. So check this out. Scientists claim to have found evidence of alien genetic manipulation in human DNA, with large sections of genes seemingly inserted into people, potentially potentially affecting millions of humans. If confirmed, the discovery could fundamentally alter our understanding of human evolution and the future of the human race, said lead researcher Dr. Max Rempel, the founder and chief executive of the DNA Resonance Research Foundation. The study, which has not yet undergone peer review, analyzed DNA from both ordinary people and self-reported alien abductees. In an examination of 581 complete families from 1,000 genome projects, Rempel found large sequences of DNA in 11 families that appeared to match neither parent. What? 11 families had DNA that didn't match. These anomalies include a cluster of 348 non-parental genetic variations, some of which were from children born before 1990, ruling out human gene editing technologies such as CRISPR, which only emerged in 2013. So couldn't be cloning or genetic editing, which did it, because this was done before that shit existed. Rempel cautioned that his findings are preliminary and require more rigorous analysis. No conclusive evidence yet, because we need better data sets, which are available only on approval, meaning people, abductees and stuff like that have to approve to be tested. That takes time and effort. So we aliens, y'all. They found it. They done found it. They done found the alien DNA. Now, we knew this. We knew Anunnaki and all this. Now they're starting to come around, though, to what the ancients have taught this whole time. They've been teaching this since the beginning. You are part alien or Anunnaki. Allegedly, because we don't actually know. We don't truly know. This is what we're interpreting from the writings, but who knows? Who knows what that shit actually says? Just saying. But it is coming around, because moving along, Congressman Tim Burchett says he's seen intelligence that shows there's an alien vessel under the sea that's the size of 2 football field ships. 2 football fields. And they can move over 200 miles an hour. So let me see if I can. Let me read the story and then I'll bring up his thing. So a respected congressman has claimed that this dude was just on Tucker Carlson the other day too. So he reiterated this whole story on Tucker Carlson. We're gonna show a video of it in a second, but you gotta watch the event. You gotta watch the damn video on Tucker Carlson. He's breaking it off. I mean, it's a whole hour, like an hour and a half. He's getting in there. So a respected congressman has claimed that advanced alien beings could be hiding out in 5 or 6 underwater UFO bases right off the U.S. coast. God damn, they right here. They right here. This is Congressman Tim Burchett. Now, he one of the more cool ones, like in Congress. He's not like completely unblemished, but mostly. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, a member of the House Oversight Committee overseeing UFO reports, drew massive attention on social media after saying that he believed there were alien entities currently living in deep water areas on Earth. The September 17th clip posted on X has already been viewed more than 1.9 million times. During the sidewalk interview with journalist Matt Laszlo, reposted online by a UFO researcher who goes by the pseudonym Red Panda Cola, Burchett suggests that advanced alien beings or civilizations may have been hiding in Earth's oceans for generations. Yeah. He added that there have been frequent sightings of unidentified craft around 5 or 6 specific deep around 5, unidentified, I lost my damn page. He added that there have been 5, he added that there have been frequent sightings of unidentified craft around 5 or 6 specific deep sea areas, which he found significant given how little known about the ocean compared to the moon's surface. The congressman also noted that the USA Navy personnel have reported chasing these underwater craft that move at extraordinary speeds and far surpass the abilities of current U.S. military technology. Now, this is him in the interview. Man, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Come on, man. All right. Oh, here it is. All right, I got it. So check this out. Add to the stage. What are you doing? All right, here we go.
Of defense, by the way. But before going that and then talking about Amsterdam's airspace being shut.
Really quick, you guys should watch this dude's channel. He breaks off a whole lot. He has a whole lot of information. Actually, a lot of whole conspiracy information, but actual political information. Like he's in the thick of it. He's really in it. This is We Are Change. Luke from We Are Change. You guys should check out his channel. He makes a whole bunch of videos every day breaking off shit. So you should check him out.
Down. Here's a very fascinating conversation that happened around this topic.
You received intelligence that suggests that there are perhaps deep water alien bases right now sitting on the ocean floor on this planet. Is that accurate?
I would say that's pretty accurate.
Can you go into more detail? How long have they been here? Where are they?
Well, I'm extrapolating all this with my East Tennessee vernacular. So we've got five or six deep water areas of our oceans. We actually know more about the surface of the moon than we do about these areas.
That's true. There's a lot of people saying, why aren't we exploring that? It's very difficult. It's very costly. But you would think as humanity, we would get our ish together and be like, okay, guys, let's actually be on team humanity here. Let's check out what's underwater, especially with these football-sized things moving around 200 miles an hour, having capabilities that we do not. It is possible with how vast and big that there are.
Hold on.
And listen, that are energetic
sightings.
Absurd. There's other things that exist in other planes of existence that we are just not privy to. To think that is an absurd or crazy or wacky cuckoo idea, I think is doing all of us no favors at all.
And these are areas where we have a high frequency of UFO or UAP sightings. We've had.
Now that's the interesting part. It's like, yeah, the place we haven't gone to.
Be quiet. Let them talk, man. Shut
way
up.
Too much.
Naval folks have told me pretty high up that they've actually tracked these things. Now we have stuff that can go underwater probably 30 to 40 miles an hour, maybe something a little faster that the Chinese haven't stole from us yet. And we've tracked things big as a football field going 200 miles an hour. Now I realize in the water you extrapolate that to knots and all that, but
big as a football field going 200 miles an hour. First of all, do you know how the faster you try to go in water, the more resistance you get? Water is one of the strongest things in existence, especially when you're in a body of water and you're trying to move fast. Unless you're extremely aerodynamic and moving with the harmony of the current of the water and shit like that, you're not going to be able to move that fast. And like you said, America has technology that can do that for only about 30 to 40 miles per hour. This thing is moving 200 miles an hour.
it's a football field going 200 miles an hour. Now I realize in the water you extrapolate that to knots and all that, but just for good old East Tennessee common sense, 200 miles an hour is something the size of a football field. And we don't.
Multiple reports, by the way, throughout the years, this has been documented in many instances. It's not just like, oh yeah, what to do. William Cooper literally, I saw it with my own eyes. People see this with their own eyes, and then they're just told, shut up, don't talk about it. Right on for Congressman Burchett for actually coming out and speaking out against this, because I think it's more important than ever.
Don't know what it is, and these are in these areas. So yeah, there's something going on there, and whether it's something that's been here for millennial or whatever, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm kind of like Dr. Loeb. I love to study this kind of stuff. It's the scientific material. There is he's the one that just disclosed some things that were found that were extraterrestrial in our oceans, and he's brave enough, I believe, to come forward with those. So I'm looking forward to some more talks about this. But I think I've kicked the hornet's nest because it was just in a casual conversation with a blogger, and I discussed it. It wasn't in a classified setting, so I could talk about it. But I always remember the last thing this one high-ranking official told me as he left my office. He was right close to me as I am to my phone in my barn right now, and he said, Tim, they're real.
Yeah. Everything that I've found out. I mean,
Did y'all hear that? Hear that? Well, listen to this again.
It wasn't in a classified setting, so I could talk about it. But I always remember the last thing this one high-ranking official told me as he left my office. He was right close to me as I am to my phone in my barn right now, and he said, Tim, they're real.
Yeah. Everything that I've found out. I mean, I've interviewed and had conversations. So.
High-ranking official, before they left the office, he turned to him and said, Tim, they're real. Now, the thing that went viral of his, though, was something else went viral of his. Hold on. All right, here it is. So this is actually what went viral of his not too long ago. So check this out.
Skin stress at level.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Hair color correcting treatment.
Now, when I had it paused, it was on the damn video, and then they reloaded it and gave me a damn commercial. And a goddamn 30-second commercial. What the hell, man? Yo, send me a damn ad blocker, somebody. Send me an ad blocker. And if you're watching this on Rumble, you can send me an ad blocker too, just so you know we're broadcasting both on Rumble. So here we go.
These are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas. And that's why, I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so to me, it just, it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour.
So they're about to tell us, they're basically telling us right now without actually telling us. When they allow all the congressmen and the whistleblowers and all this and that to jump off and start talking about this stuff, they're telling you. This is, people are so funny. They're looking for a damn skywriter and shit. They're looking for a big ass neon alien ship to come floating in the middle of the sky and shit, like Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel. That's not gonna happen. That's not about to pop off. What's gonna pop off though is they're gonna leak this to you slowly. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit, a little bit, bam, bam, bam. And then Glock just gonna be what? Just gonna Trump gonna walk into the Oval Office with Glock one day like it ain't nothing, and so start talking and like, wait, Glock, when you get here? Glock's been here for years. What do you mean? We told you. Didn't we tell you? Glock, when did we tell him? Like, nigga, Glock says 3 years. It's been 3 years. we told you 3 years ago. Thank you, Glock. So when that shit pops off, Glock is gonna run the world. Moving along. Shout out to Glock. They will try to declare a global threat. Yep. I don't think that's not going to happen first, but they will try to do that. I think they're going to try a false flag first on America first. They got to do that because they're losing America. The Khazarians are losing America, so they have to do something to bring America back into the fold, because America is unifying against Israel. That's the one thing that's bringing America together. It's funny as shit. Everybody's got so many splits between demographics in America. Men and women. Men hate women. Women hate men. Men don't really hate women. Women hate men though. But you got black against white, old against young, tall and short. I mean, you got all this bullshit, all this division. But the one thing that's bringing people together is Israel. You on some fuck shit, huh? Israel is full of shit. New Khazaria, y'all some bitch ass motherfuckers. So that's what's kind of bringing the people together. That's not YouTube Premium. That's the Daily Mail. I do have YouTube Premium. That's why you don't see any commercials when I play videos on YouTube. But when I play videos on when I go to a news journalist website, a news website, they bombard that whole page with ads. It's crazy. Behold the pale white horse. Talked about this fake alien invasion. Yep. Project Bluebeam. Oh yeah, that's oh yeah, that's Glue Glock. Don't mind him. Oh yeah, that's Glue Glock. Glue Glock said, you got a turkey burger? He hungry. Glue Glock need a turkey burger. So shout out to you, Glue Glock. Moving along. It says they're here. Yep. That's my shit too. Poltergeist. So many people died from that movie. It's crazy. There was some real ghosts going around killing people from that movie. Go look up the history of Poltergeist and how many people died from that damn movie. So moving along. Oops, where'd it go? The precise date the interstellar visitor, this is the comet, they saying that's coming, will reveal itself as, or has revealed itself as, alien mothership comet, as the mothership, excuse me. The precise date, goddamn, hold on. Precise date interstellar visitor will reveal itself, because they don't use, when they write, they take out words. So precise date interstellar visitor will reveal itself as alien mothership or comet confirmed. The mysterious interstellar visitors streaking through our solar system is just days away from revealing its true origin. Harvard professor Avi Loeb told DailyMail.com that if the object dubbed 31 Atlas is a comet, it should disintegrate in fragments as it swings closest to the sun on October 29th. So if it doesn't break apart on October 29th, we know it's an alien ship. We got how much time we got left? What's that, about 18 more days? What's today? What's today? Hey, what's today? I don't know the dates, man. Oh, it's right here in the corner. Oh, 11. All right, we only 11. So that's 18 more days. We got 18 more days, and then we'll know if that's a ship. Because if it doesn't disintegrate, because it's ice, usually a comet is usually ice, mostly ice. So if it goes around the sun and that heat doesn't blow it apart, if it doesn't disintegrate it, because the heat of the sun should disintegrate anything that would be ice. So if it doesn't break into fragments, it's a goddamn ship. We know that's a goddamn ship that has a force shield, a force field, like Independence Day. If you can block yourself from the heat of the sun, oh hell no. What the hell? Hey, what'd you say? So who was Morgan Freeman in Robin Hood? Prince of Thieves. Thank you. God damn it. Hold up. I forgot all about that. I do break that movie down in the documentary Face of the Dragon. However, you absolutely goddamn right. I am Moorish. Morgan Freeman. Thank you. Morgan Freeman from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I love that movie too. I've seen that movie like 100 times. That movie breaks it off. Even the technology the Moors had. Remember when he broke out the telescope and he saw the posse coming from far away, and then dumbass Kevin Costner grabbed it and thought they were right in front of him. He pulled out his sword and started stabbing in the air. And that motherfucker Morgan Freeman like, give me my shit, you dumbass motherfucker. He's saying dumbass. So yes, absolutely. That movie break it off. He also talked about the gunpowder, the technology, how Moors had gunpowder. This is how he was beating their ass for the longest time. The Moors had gunpowder. They show that. They show little symbolism of that in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So the two towers represent the pillars in Jachin and Boaz, just so you know, in masonry. But so when he got into the castle, what did they use? What did the orcs have? Why the orcs? What the fuck? The orcs had gunpowder. They had the bomb. They blew up the goddamn wall, and that's how they got into the castle. It's because the Moors had gunpowder, not Chinese. It was the Moors. The Chinese created gunpowder. Chinese didn't create gunpowder. Kev, I see the aliens all the time. Going through New Jersey, them drones and quintuple. Yeah, man. All you gotta do is start looking up, y'all. They here now. They probably showing themselves a lot because these dumbasses is closer to nuclear war. So they trying to let them know. Nigga, don't you launch a goddamn nuke, you dumbasses. We'll smash on all y'all. You launch a nuke. So I think they're here to stop the nukes. There's a YouTuber. The YouTuber Stefan Burns be braining it off in 31. What? Be brain it off? Is that sure what you meant? The YouTuber Stefan Burns I think you meant breaking it off about 31 Atlas. Okay. I got you. Breaking it off. You say, if the aliens melanated, I'm gone. I want to know what the fuck they've been doing all this time. But they might be boule too. You say, what the hell y'all been doing this whole time? I'm tell you right, if it's the Anunnaki, I'm out, y'all. Deuces. Y'all ain't gonna see me no more. If that's the Anunnaki, that's my ship. That's my ride, y'all. I tell you, y'all don't see me no more after this. After that motherfucker come through here, y'all know where I'm at. I'm outie. So, hold on. Yeah. So, hold on. Let me read more. So it says this process can cause the comet to break apart if the mix of ice and dust cannot withstand the thermal stress. But if it does not, Loeb said it could release a fleet of mini probes to study multiple targets simultaneously. And saying the nigga said if it don't break up, it's probably an alien ship and it's gonna let loose a bunch of probes to come and try to study us. Loeb noted there is a 30 to 40% chance the object does not have a fully natural origin. He's like, it could be a ship. He's like, yeah. We calling it a comet, but we're not really that sure. But this much sure. So they don't know basically if it's a comet or it's a goddamn ship. But if it comes around the sun intact, it's a ship. It says, noting that the possibility it is a Trojan horse where technological object masquerades as a comet. So that's probably what it is. That's probably definitely what it is. So again, October 29th, we'll know if it's a ship. And if we know on October 29th, if we know it's a ship, If you know you an alien, you know you're not a Naga, you better start preparing to get the fuck up out of here, baby. They coming to pick us up. They coming to get us. Glue Glock is coming. So moving along, researchers make a game-changing breakthrough. No, I won't read that one. Basically, I'll just give the short of it. Basically, they found out how to desalinate water. They found out a new way on how to desalinate water 20 times faster, which is basically going to change the game for the world. That's going to change the fucking game for the world. So usually it takes so long for water to get desalinated because of the filters get clogged up so much with the salt, and then the salt can erode the equipment and all this type of stuff. But they found some type of new electrical way of zapping it with electricity or some shit, and it gets rid of the salt a lot easier. It basically dissolves the salt into evaporates it. And man, for all these third world countries who don't got water but live by big ass oceans and shit, big ass lakes, but don't have but are fucking dying of thirst, that's gonna change the game. So I had to put that in there just to let you know. So I gave you the quick excerpt behind that. Or would you say since when comets were thermonuclear powered? Now, and who knows? We don't say who knows if they're thermal. They're saying they don't know. Allegedly, we know. They're not trying to tell us, but we know. Something soon to come with them currently predicting West Coast to fall off with these earthquakes. All right, well, not really earthquake. West Coast hasn't had big earthquakes. We haven't had any big earthquakes. We have small earthquakes, which alleviates the tension between the tectonic plates, which is what you want. You want to have minor earthquakes all the time because then that tension doesn't build up, and then you have one giant earthquake. So as long as we're having mini earthquakes, we're fine. If we don't have an earthquake for a long ass time, then you're fucked. That's usually how it goes. But California is having a bunch of mini earthquakes, which is actually a good thing, meaning it's relieving the tension in the tectonic plates. You said Glue Glock been here for centuries. Glue Glock old as shit, ain't he? So moving along. So that's a great deal. Desalination of water is going to change the game, especially though if they can minimize it. You know, they can make it into a home product that you can buy, a localized product that you can buy. Oh man, goddamn. You know, now when are the goddamn corporations gonna come and take that motherfucker out? I'm not trying to speed this up, but usually this is how it goes. You see somebody come up with some shit like that, and then there's a plane crash somewhere, and then you be like, oh, that plane crash happened, or that boat blew up, or this happened, and then you come to find out, wait a minute, it was two scientists on there that just invented fucking how to teleport. Wait a minute, what? two scientists invented how to teleport. They died. Oh, nigga, goddamn. That's usually how it goes. So let's just put out the good energy for homeboy in the water situation. Moving along. A breakthrough as a common ice cream and soda ingredient could finally solve hair loss. Come on, baby. Bring back the dome. Bring back the carpet up there. Might be getting my hair back, goddammit. A sugar substitute found in thousands of candies, desserts, and diet drinks could promote hair growth. Better not be aspartame. It better not be aspartame, goddammit. Could promote hair growth in people suffering from baldness, a study suggests. Stevia. Now, there's a catch-22 to this, though. Stevia, a natural zero-calorie sweetener used in more than 40,000 products worldwide, contains compounds known as stevioids, which gives its sweet flavor. Now, Australian researchers have found that if these compounds are mixed with the popular over-the-counter hair loss drug minoxidil, commonly known as Rogaine. Rogaine, boy, we used to have so many Rogaine jokes back in the day. It may help revive hair growth on the head. Stevia with Rogaine. What? That's the secret sauce? Go get you some Rogaine. Go get you a pack of stevia from Whole Foods. My bald brothers. Go get you a pack of Rogaine, pack of stevia. And then just slap that shit on your head. Put the little cap on, let that shit marinate. Let it do a little marination up in there, get in the nooks and crannies and shit. Apparently, this shit worked. Minoxidil is a popular cheap hair loss treatment in the U.S. and estimated 40 million Americans using the drug every year. It tests on mice. The scientists placed a microneedle patch infused with a mix of minoxidil and stevioids on the rodent's back, bald back, every day for a month, and found it triggered new hair growth across 67.5% of their back by experiments in. Basically, they grew hair on their back. 70% of their back grew hair of the rat. 70% with the mixture of Rogaine and stevia. Then the mice who had the standard 2% minoxidil solution without stevioids sprayed onto their backs every day for the same period saw growth of just 25%. So with Rogaine alone, it's only 25%. With stevia and Rogaine, it's 70%. Get y'all bitch asses up, boy. Better get your ass out there. He says, yep, black seed oil on the scalp. Look it up. He says, what, Kev? I can get my Mad Dog. I can get my Mad Dog from Good Times Afro back. What you know about Mad Dog from Good Times? Mad Dog. Oh man, he had JJ on one, didn't he? But man, you can get the damn fro back. Just stevia and Rogaine, apparently. God damn, baby. Now I ain't gonna try it. I love my bald look. But god damn, if I ever needed to grow my hair back. Holy shit. Shout out to the damn scientists out here doing the game. Now, the caveat to that is stevia. You should not take a lot of stevia. Men, I should say. Men shouldn't take a lot of stevia. Stevia makes you sterile. Stevia is used, the stevia plant is used as birth control in some countries where it grows naturally. So for the dudes in the village, they want to go on a little tap explosion, a little tapulation, extraordinary explosion, a little extravaganza. That's the word I was looking for. A tap extravaganza. They eat the stevia leaf so that it makes them sterile. They don't. Now it's not. It's only temporary, unless you eat a lot of it all the time. Then it could be permanent. So just remember, men, stevia it makes you sterile. So watch out, goddammit. He says stevia game. Roast Steve. Roast Steven game. He said stevia game. Roast Steve. Roast Steven game. Oh, nigga, that's funny. He's a head full of hair with a limp noodle. Yep. Do you want? Nah. I'd rather be bald, goddamn. I'll go with the bald for 2,000, Alex. Go with the bald hair for 2,000, Alex. That's why they gave this info out. Birth control agenda. Very good perception. Very good eye on that. Absolutely. I didn't even think of that. So moving along, do not consume a lot of things that's heavy in stevia. Now let me say this again. If you consume it all the time, it goes in and then it wears off after a certain amount of time. I think about a few days, it wears off. However, if you keep on doing it, then your body thinks that you don't want to produce sperm, and then it'll eventually just turn it off. So just be aware of that. Moving along, the reason your boyfriend keeps starting fights with you, ladies, men are significantly more likely to pick arguments than women, a study finds. Now, this is bullshit. I'm about to debunk this shit. I put this story in here to debunk it. So let's read this. Let's see what this shit got to say right here. Whether it's a pretty squabble or a full blown out argument, most couples have fights from time to time. Now, a study has revealed that men are significantly more likely to be the ones stirring the pot. No, nah. Sorry, buddy. Researchers from the University of St. Andrews say that in mixed gender pairs, men are much more likely than women to initiate direct aggression. See, this is where we're getting mixed up with. However, women aren't simply innocent bystanders. Once a fight has been initiated, ladies are just as likely to retaliate as men, according to researchers. Understanding why some people are more aggressive than others is important, said lead author Anna McCurry. See, a woman wrote this. See, it's already biased. See the shit? It's already some bullshit going. But we also need to know why the same person can be aggressive in one circumstance and not another. We found here that women are more likely to retaliate with aggression than to initiate aggression. Now, the reason this whole thing is bullshit, let me go back to this part. Where there's pretty men more start from time to time. Hold on. Once a fight has begun, hold on. Where's the aggression part? Where did it say about the aggression? Because that's very important. Once a fight has begun, so understanding why some people are more aggressive than others is important. It says, but we also need to understand why the same people can be aggressive in one circumstance and not another. Now, what it's basically talking about is just alpha males or masculine men. That's it. Masculine men don't hold their tongue. So if they have a problem, they speak up immediately, which this woman is considering you speaking up about a problem, men, is you starting to fight. Not you communicating. That's not what it is. It's you starting to fight. Now, anybody who's been in a relationship, any man who's been in a relationship knows goddamn well who starts to fight the most time. Women aren't aggressive. No, they're passive aggressive. This is how they start fighting. You piss a woman off, what's going to happen? She ain't going to talk to you. She going to stomp around the goddamn house. She going to be slamming shit. You ask her what's wrong. Nothing. What's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm fine. It's okay. You know you ain't fine. Why you full of shit? You full of shit. Stop bullshitting. See, and then they know they keep doing that. Your level of peace, and they know that men are about peace. This is why this is bullshit. Men are about their peace. Let me tell you something, ladies. This is a secret to men. You want to fucking get in good with a man? Make sure the man has his peace. Do not disturb his peace. I'm telling you, don't add to the confusion. Add to the peace in his life. A man loves his peace, which is why we don't like starting arguments. This is some but not all. But most men do not like starting fights. We don't like getting into fight because this is what's gonna happen. We know if we get into a fight with you, it's just gonna be this for 4 hours. 4 motherfucking hours of this. We know that shit. God damn it. So let me say, is it rolling her eyes every chance she get? Thank you. He said, yup, rolling her eyes up. Hold up. He said, Kev, my ex-wife last week called me out of the blue and said, don't call her no more. I hadn't called her in 3 months. What the fuck? See what I'm talking about? God damn it. This is some bullshit. This study is on some straight bullshit. So yeah, this passive, oh my God, y'all so passive aggressive with the bullshit, man. The passive aggressive shit is real. It is realer than any realer thing ever. He said she miserable and mad you not. Yep. That's usually what that is. She called you to see if you mad, or if she called you that you was going to have a good conversation. Maybe you want to talk to her again. She didn't call you to say don't call her no more. She called you to see if the energy was still good. Maybe. And then when she saw that the energy wasn't good, don't call me no more. Don't you be calling me no more. So this study, I'm calling bullshit on this study right here. This Anna McCurry. You full of shit, Anna McCurry. You one of them. You one of them passive aggressive chicks. Oh, I don't start fights. I just walk around the house sliding my feet real hard on the ground. Stomping, slamming cabinet doors. fucking not doing the cutesy stuff. You know, this is what they do. When you and your girl got little cutesy stuff and shit that y'all do back and forth. Y'all do little cute stuff here, maybe send each other emojis and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or do little things for each other, whatever. When she stopped doing the cutesy shit. Hey, what oh, you on some bullshit, huh? Oh, what happened to my, oh, okay. You on some bullshit, huh? That's how we know. Y'all got tells. When you stop doing your little cute shit, the stomping around the house and all that, we know. We fucking know. He said it was a reverse booty call. He said, Rodney, she sensed you were at peace. She had to mess with that. Oh shit, man, this is great. The men in here is having a ball right now because this story is so full of shit. Because men are more aggressive than women, we start more fights. Hell no. Men are just more matter of fact and don't want to deal with the long-term bullshit. So we're going to tell you about it right immediately. We're not going to go for days and weeks trying to deal with this bullshit. No. Deal with this shit now. What you got? What's your problem? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Because I ain't about to deal with this shit for a fucking whole week. You better speak now. You better speak up. You better speak. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it in 3 more days. You better speak up, goddammit. So that story's bullshit. And I know somebody watching right now is probably talking about, you full of shit. No, I'm not. God damn it. No, I'm not. So moving along. Last couple things I got in nigga news. There was a report about the autopsy of homeboy who got hung, the brother who got hung. What was his name? Trey Reed, who got hung. And we got to, hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, come on, man. Okay, so this is a story about Colin Kaepernick supposedly did the autopsy, the second autopsy, to see if he was actually hung, right? So this is what's coming out, but apparently the report came out and said that he was hit with blunt force trauma in the back of the head. Apparently, this is what supposedly the report came out and said this. Now, let's see what actually happened.
So the results of the second autopsy on Trey Reed has came out, and it came out that all of you white people who were trying to sit here and make it seem like this young man was not strange fruited, it came back that he had blunt force trauma to the back of his head. Now, why the hell would he hit himself in the back of the head, then put himself in a goddamn tree? You know why? Because that doesn't make any sense. Y'all waited until he turned his back before you cracked him in the skull, the back of his skull, and then you put him in that tree to make it seem like he did it himself. I said this before, and I will say it again. Black men do not strange fruit themselves on trees. Repeat after me. Black men do not strange fruit themselves on trees, especially in America. It don't happen. If you do not strange fruit themselves on trees, especially in America, it don't happen. If you
Boy.
Sorry. So we're back on the conservative perspective. And if y'all didn't hear what I was saying I had the mic muted. But I was saying was homeboy part of the Fruitopian? Is he part of the Fruitopian group? Just an observation. Just saying. Don't know. But he's just saying. But we're back on conservative perspective because he has some good points sometimes. And if you can't admit some people have a good point sometimes who you don't agree with, then you're not being honest. So this is one video he had where he's making a good point. So let's see. He's talking about the autopsy. So let's see what actually happens. I don't want to get his commentary. I just want to get the video.
It just blows your mind, this type of stuff these people come up with. When the first two lies don't work, you just lie more, right? Just lie more. And that's what this story has become, a bunch of lies.
And then Trey Reed, who the first autopsy said that he took his own life, that there was no foul play. And thank goodness we got a second independent autopsy, which is now showing blunt force trauma to the back of his head. And we're now finding out that he got into an argument just days before that with 4 white kids while he was defending his sister. It is not just enough for these two to get the justice they deserve, to find out who actually caused that car accident and who actually hung him. But the cops that involved in these cover-ups and they involve blaming young black men for this need to be held accountable, need to be charged.
Trey Reed didn't hang himself. He was murdered. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick for providing the funding for that second independent autopsy for the family, because it's very revealing. And we're getting new details and information about the Delta State University student that was found hanging from a tree on September 15th. He didn't take his own life, and it wasn't a real hanging.
Just real quick, just on the side note, her skin is popping, ain't it? Look at that melanin skin. Look at that melanated skin, y'all. Her skin is shining, ain't it? God damn, girl. Look at that skin.
So the autopsy that was funded by Colin Kaepernick reportedly finds that Trey Reed did not die by suicide. Family attorney Ben Crump has yet to confirm. Not only did he not hang himself, new information and new details are showing that there may be blunt force trauma to his head, and that days before he was found, he was in an altercation with some Charlie Kirk supporters. Turns out that Trey was online defending a young lady who had said some things about Charlie Kirk that had upset some Delta State University students. And he had gotten into an altercation online with 4 white men. 2 of these men attend Delta State University. Text messages are showing. The second independent autopsy also showed and revealed that he was manually choked and strangled before any rope was placed around his neck, and that his bruising was not indicative of him being hung. That's not how he died. Details are still forthcoming. This is an ongoing investigation.
Now, this has been rumored. Again, this is rumored, alleged. We don't know for sure. But there's a massive rumor going around that Trey Reed was unalived by 4 white boys who were Charlie Kirk fans. And Trey Reed was allegedly defending a girl who had something to say about Charlie Kirk to them 4 white boys. Again, we don't know for that to be true. And that's the rumor that's been flying around all day. All day. I ain't see the mom confirmed it, the family confirmed it, or anything like that. But I tell you what, y'all better hope that's not true.
Yeah. So again, what do we have here? Lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you are an online content creator, right, you have a big...
So we're just going to get to the story because his commentary is bullshit. He always talking crap. So let's get to actually what the story is about. And I want y'all to hear a certain word, what the news reporter says in this damn news report. Hold on.
Into it.
Still no news tonight on the results of a second autopsy on Trey Reed, the Delta State student found hanging from a tree recently. You'll recall the man's death triggered wild rumors that have been labeled untrue by the Bolivar County coroner and the state crime lab. Now, new rumors have surfaced about a second autopsy on Reed. Tonight, Delta News reporter Dennis Turner separates fact from fiction and has this update on the case.
Ever since the discovery of Trey Reed's body on the campus of Delta State University, those close to the investigation have complained the rumor mill has worked overtime. The facts of this case, though, have come much slower. Perhaps that's why rumors have recently surfaced about results of a second autopsy. The Delta News investigation shows, though, that autopsy has not been released. Shortly after Reed's death came story.
Not been released. Not been released. So where the hell she get that whole goddamn autopsy from? See, this is the bullshit. This is the misinformation that you got to watch out for, that's meant to hype you up and cause strife and dissension. Meant to get you pissed off and go after white folks. So again, the autopsy, the actual autopsy has not been released at all by the actual family or Benjamin Crump, who's the actual lawyer on it. He has not released anything. But everybody going around, this is a report, y'all. This is a report. This is a report. This is a report. Oh shit, he hit in the back of the head by just making up shit. You gotta stop. Excuse me. Stop this bullshit.
Stories that he suffered broken bones and other injuries at the time of his death. The Bolivar County coroner and the Mississippi Crime Lab quickly disputed that and released information that they found no injuries on Reed's body. But conflicting information told to the family did not fill them with confidence.
That is a false narrative.
At this gathering in Grenada, an attorney for the Reed family listed all the early missteps in notifying them of Trey's death. So it came as no surprise the family hired well-known attorney Ben Crump and asked for its own private autopsy on the young man's body. We soon learned former NFL star Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights Foundation would pick up the tab. A well-known pathologist.
Wait, what did he say? What did he just say?
Former NFL
Colin Kaepernick's what? Know your what?
Well-known attorney Ben Crump and asked for its own private autopsy on the young man's body. We soon learned former NFL star Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights Foundation.
Know Your Rights Foundation? What? I think that would be us. Know Your Rights Foundation. He's Know Your Rights Camp. But thank you for the shout out there, brother. Appreciate you, bro. Bam! Know Your Rights Foundation, huh? Okay, I see.
Private autopsy on the young man's body. We soon learned former NFL star Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights Foundation would pick up the tab. A well-known pathologist was chosen for that second autopsy. Dr. Matthias Okoye is the director of the Nebraska Institute of Forensic Sciences. This biography from the University of Missouri lists Dr. Okoye's medical degrees from the University of Lagos, the United Kingdom, residencies at the University of Kansas, the state of Maryland, and a law degree from Detroit College of Law. The report says Okoye is often called on to investigate controversial and high-profile deaths. Last week, the Jackson Clarion Ledger reported Dr. Okoye completed his examination before Reed's funeral last month, but that the autopsy report had not been finalized.
Yeah. So again, this is what I.
Why do you think they don't want to release the findings? The only reason they would not want to release the findings, this is Ben Crump who hasn't released it. Ben Crump can release the findings at any time. The reason he didn't release the findings is because they found out he was actually killed he hung himself. That would be the only reason that you didn't release the findings. Because if you found foul play and you found it before his funeral, you would have been released that shit. So I hate when this motherfucker's right. I hate when you got me talking and backing this dumbass conservative coon Cajun, this conservative coon Cajun up. But God damn it, that's probably the case. They're not releasing the file. They're not releasing it because they want it to die down first. Because there's a lot of big backlash about it. They wanted to die down first, and then they're going to be like, "Oh, guys, he actually killed himself." Because then they tried to come out with the narrative that he had supposedly got into a fight with some people who was they were talking shit about Charlie Kirk by some Charlie Kirk people who were defending Charlie Kirk, and they would try to get into a fight with his sister allegedly. And that's why they probably killed him. None of that's confirmed. This all another rumor. None of that's confirmed at all. But this is what you're gonna get. This is what you get. Now, again, all this Black Lives Matter stuff. I would say, ladies in the hood, if Black Lives matter so damn much, stop aborting the babies. Start there. That's the very first place you can start. Stop aborting the goddamn kids. 20 million kids. since 1973. Excuse me, 1975. 20 million kids aborted by sisters, melanated women, so-called black women in the hood in America. 20 million kids since 1975. That's 20. I'm gonna say that again. 20 million black men and women have been murdered, been killed by abortion. So this right here, you want to start caring about lives, start caring at the house first. But the fact that they start drumming up, he says now 60 million, 60 billion. Nah, 60 billion. Now I did the statistic on that. Now, I mean, it could be wrong, but they broke it down by the clinics through since 1975, since Margaret Sanger and all that came in there, Planned Parenthood and all that. And they said it was actually, the number was 19.5 million. So 19,500,000 babies have been aborted by sisters in the communities. So that's ridiculous. Those are the leaders, the next leaders and scientists, scholars, entertainment people. We can throw them in there because it could have been some more great people who entertained us. Some more people could have led us out of the bullshit. That's a whole damn nation of people that was killed in that time. So just saying. Melanated people, though, you got to stop telling lies to try to fit the narrative and try to create some type of racial bullshit. Just move on. Sometimes people kill themselves. That happens. I know melanated people don't usually do it, but that's not like it's a never thing. So this might be one of them times. Just saying. He says, does that include the Dominicans that I know black? Dominicans? No, the Dominicans, they know what's up. They know what's up, the Dominicans. He says, Skittles people wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. What the fuck? No procreation. He said, what the fuck? No procreation. And last thing I got in nigga news. Did you see this video that went viral? Light skin. It was one light skinned person versus 20 black skinned people, 20 dark skin. Did y'all see that? Let me see if I can find that. Hold up. Let me see if I can find. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Y'all got to see that. Let me see. Damn it. Maybe I watched it yesterday. Hold on. Oh, here it is. So check this out.
The CIA.
Brought it up. You said but hold on, let's be clear.
So there's a channel called Jubilee, I think. It has like 10 million subscribers. And what they do is they'll take people from two different topics, one person from a topic, put them in the middle at a desk, and have 20 people in the room who's anti that come, and they're on a clock. So they have a certain amount of time to debate that person. Then they have to get up. It's like musical chairs. They have to go in. So this channel did a spoof of that because they're doing it's very brilliant, actually, what they did. But they did light skin. This is hilarious. Light skinned blacks versus dark skinned blacks. And y'all gotta watch this. This shit's crazy. But the reason they did this is to show the reason videos like this are made. They're not doing this to be a part of the problem. They're actually a part of the solution. So watch this.
If you said if I'm going through a hard time, maybe I can use a white woman to help me get out of those hard times. That is the white savior.
Would you put that pressure on a black woman?
Would I put what pressure on a black woman?
For her to save you.
I wasn't the one that said saving. You brought it up.
You said white savior.
Because you said you're with a white woman and she can help you out of your troubles. What I would like to do is find a black woman that I love and I can build with her.
That's not
You're
saving
saying
you.
find someone
Superman
like
saving me from a burning building is saving me. She just getting me out of my overdraft fee.
Which is troubles that you're facing. Why could you not build with a black woman?
Because I want the black woman to get the best of me. White woman gets the worst of me.
I want the black woman to get the best of me and the white woman to get the worst of me.
The white woman
Hello,
gets the
my name is
worst of
Karen
me.
I've been light-skinned my entire life. I took my studies overseas where I went to Caribbean Queen University and I got my master's.
I want the black woman to get the best of me and the white woman to get the worst of me.
Hello, my name is Karen Harrell. I've been light-skinned my entire life. I took my studies overseas where I went to Caribbean Queen University and I got my master's in light-skinomics and cocoa butter.
Light-skinomics?
He went to, so as you can see, it's a spoof. I went to Caribbean Queen University. Where's that from, guys? If y'all know, where's that from? Caribbean Queen University. Come on, y'all. Only the old school people gonna know. Caribbean Queen University. You gotta know, who is Caribbean Queen? Come on, y'all. Put it in the chat. Who is Caribbean Queen? Billy Ocean. Dee got it. Caribbean Queen. Now we're sharing the same dream. And our hearts that beat as one. No more love on the run. Shout out to Billy Ocean. But he said, I'm from Caribbean Queen University.
And cocoa
My
butter.
first claim is dark-skinned people have an unhealthy obsession with rotund white women. Kyron.
Rodescu.
Very nice. Dark-skinned name.
Okay, wow. Where are we starting? Okay, so just remind me one more time.
This
What
is
is actually the prompt?
dark-skinned
What's the
name.
question here again?
Why'd you
So the
come up?
prompt is essentially just love fat white hoes.
All niggas, or are we just saying some niggas? I mean, is that
No, the ones like you.
one's like, wow, okay, that's okay. Wait a minute. So are
What
you
is
not
happening?
saying you're like me?
I am, but not
Well, not what? Like
not as.
as.
Not as.
I
Dark?
am like you.
No, I don't think so. Actually, I'm kind of confused here because if you've already separated yourself from me, but then you're saying that I represent niggas.
I haven't separated myself from you.
You
We're
just
in the same
did.
room, we're integrated.
No,
We're-
don't say that, dude. You know what I mean.
We're
You
here
know,
together.
yeah, we are here together, but somehow you're over there and I'm over here. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Well, we're at a table.
Okay, but if we were niggas, would you be on my side of the niggas or would you be on the other side of the niggas?
Who are the other niggas?
You tell me.
I think that the other niggas that we're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the Rainbow Coalition by Fred Hampton?
Is that a book or is that a person? Is that that's what's a rainbow?
Some nigga you are.
Whoa, what is going on? The rainbow color.
Get them out of there.
Okay,
They not like us.
Okay.
They not like us.
Hi, I'm Will, and here at Jollity,
An ally.
we're all about uplifting the voices unheard and giving space to those who haven't really had it, which is why today we're partnering with a lovely organization. Care is Abundant, also known as the CIA.
Listen to this. I want y'all to hear this. This is why. This is the behind the scenes of why they're actually doing the video. Watch this. Listen to this. So this so we got a video of black people on the video with some type of dissension as a topic, right? This is a divisive topic. Now watch who comes in, who's really running the channel on the back end.
Hi, I'm Will, and here at Jollity,
An ally.
we're all about uplifting the voices unheard and giving space to those who haven't really had it, which is why today we're partnering with a lovely organization. Care is Abundant, also known as the CIA. The CIA can no longer distribute crack in the inner city, so we need to find new and exciting ways.
He said the CIA, we're known as the CIA, we're known for distributing crack in the inner city. So
CIA. The CIA can no longer distribute crack in the inner city, so we need to find new and exciting ways to bring infighting and distrust in the black community.
we need to find new ways to bring fighting and distrust to bring fighting and trust into the black community.
And how we do that is by funding videos like the one you see today and labeling it as entertainment.
Oh, this is good.
And we do that by funding videos like this and labeling it as entertainment. So when you see this shit on YouTube, all of this divisive shit, male versus female, black versus white, all that, this is CIA funding this shit on the back end in order to keep us divisive. Light skin versus, now let me say this. There used to be a real light skin versus black thing back in the day. Back when DeBarge was killing the game, fuck DeBarge, bitch. I lied. Come on. DeBarge is killing it. Dance to the beat of the rhythm of the night. Dance to the morning light. Elder Barge, you bitch. Elder Barge and Chico. Elder Barge, Chico, Al B. Shore. All these bitch asses. Christopher Williams. All these bitch ass light skinned motherfuckers. Oh yeah, we was hating. God damn it. So it was a real thing, actually. It was light skin versus black skin. But they did this. This is the way they did in slavery to try to break you up. Light skin versus black skin. That goes all the way back to that, just so we're clear. Light skin, black skin goes back to the dissension in slavery, with the slave master wanted to divide the two up. But in the 80s, it was a real goddamn thing. In the 80s, it was a real goddamn thing. I'm gonna try to tell you. The Barge was killing the game for us, man. He was goddamn. We couldn't get nothing. You say Willie. Who was Willie? What Willie? Will Smith? Oh yeah, Will Smith, light skin ass. That's right, Will Smith, light skin bitch ass. Goddamn. Oh, the Willie Lynch letter. I thought you meant Will Smith. But yeah, the Willie Lynch letter. But that was fake. You know, the Willie Lynch letter is fake. So here we go. It was actually written by a black journalist. The Willie Lynch letter was written by a black journalist.
Now, back to the entertaining video and not at all transgressive conversation.
Hold up. The best forms, the most elite levels of satire is satire that average people or most people can't grasp that it is satire. This is hilarious. The CIA, this is a parody off of Jubilee. They call it Jollity. Like, this is hilarious. Okay.
KYRF.
Juju.
Hi, Juju.
So I think you got a misconception.
Okay.
We don't like rotund white women.
Okay.
We like financially stable white women.
Uh-huh.
Now, financially stable doesn't necessarily, correlate with the physical characteristics. You could be fat, one arm, eye patch. Don't matter. As long as you got enough money to not let overdraft fees affect your life.
Got it. What the young brother was saying is that, the correlation of fat and rotund and white is not really the characteristics that you should be looking at. You should be looking from a financial perspective, which makes sense because you can't really see that initially. I believe that's what he's saying. Let's
So
see
what
the
you're saying
rebuttal.
is that the size doesn't necessarily matter.
Okay.
What you blacks are doing is essentially
Blacks.
is that you're saying that it's not just about like the financial, or is it only about the financial?
Only about the financial.
But then that doesn't deter from the fact that y'all are still obsessing over these white women, whether they're large or skinny, and they're usually large, the ones that I see people like you with. They're usually really big, but that doesn't escape from the fact that you're obsessed with them unhealthily. What are you doing? It just for financial gain? Is that how you like to live your life?
Not for financial gain, but based on your theology and opinion, it feels like you would benefit from a white woman of that stature.
So you want me with a white woman?
I'm not saying I want you with it necessarily, unless you're going through some hard times. But I'm saying based on what
this
you're
sounds
saying,
like white saviorism.
White saviorism.
Unless you're going through a hard time, you need a white woman.
Not white
That's
saviorism.
what you just said.
It's me coming up.
But hold on, let's be clear. If you said if I'm going through a hard time, maybe I can use a white woman to help me get out of those hard times. That is the white savior.
Would you put that pressure on a black woman?
What pressure on a black woman?
For her to save you.
I wasn't the one that said saving. You brought it up.
You said white savior.
Because you said get with a white woman and she can help you out of your troubles. What I would like to do is find a black woman that I love and I can build with her.
That's not saving you.
Find someone
Superman saved me from a burning building and saving me. She just gave me out my overdraft fee.
Which is troubles that you're facing. And you're saying that only a white woman can do that. Why could you not build with a black woman?
I'm not only a white woman. Say again?
Why could you not build with a black woman?
Because I want the black woman to get the best of me. White woman gets the worst of me.
I want the black woman.
That's a great line. But we get in those. You can watch this. Is you can just type it in, 1 light skin versus 10 dark skins, and the actual one will come up. You'll be able to see the actual. He says bright skin versus dark skin is Jim Crow behavior. Yeah, buddy. But they did that with the AKs. They had the paper bag test. The AKs, the women fraternity. They just do that paper bag test where if you were darker than a paper bag, you couldn't be let in to the fraternity. I mean the sorority, not fraternity, but sorority. So this type of stuff been going on for a minute, but light skinned niggas, y'all over. It's about this dark skinned people time now, bitch. Dark skinned people run the game, baby. Ever since Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is what killed the light skinned era. Just so we're clear. When Michael Jordan came in, light skin era was all done. Hell yeah, Mike! That's the only thing I like about Michael Jordan. He killed the light skin era. He killed that shit. So moving along, last thing I got in police stop. You said you like what? I like P. You stupid. So last thing I got in police stop law. Again, you guys got to make sure you get over here. Let me share this with you. I wanted to show you guys this because there was some misconception about the people being zip tied over in over in Chicago. So I showed this yesterday on the Lawcast, but we got to watch this. So this is about the zip tied babies.
Or whatever you want. But under the law, a locality is not allowed to interfere with the work of ICE. Much as they want.
What you doing?
I have not seen this happen to a white child. They put in black babies in handcuffs. Like, come on, fam. At a certain point, like, the camel's back got to break. This is some bullshit. There is no possible way that you can convince me that this isn't just pure racism.
A few moments later.
So this is a this is a video. So they were using that video of that little kid to say that ICE was zip tying little kids. But that video was from a dad he's a police officer. He got home and he was playing with his son in the parking lot. His son ran away from him. He caught him, threw the handcuffs on him, which should be admired and praised that the dad's at home playing with his son. But of course, the woke left people, and I hate using woke, but hey, that's what they become. They're like Bizarro woke. Anybody ever know about Superman? You know about Bizarro? Me Bizarro. Me Bizarro. So if y'all don't know who Bizarro was like a handicapped offshoot Superman. This nigga was like a homeless. This nigga was like a homeless Superman with autism and shit. This nigga was me Bizarro. This nigga couldn't even talk motherfucking English and shit. So that's kind of what woke is for white folks. Is they Bizarro woke. If you know who Bizarro is, go look up Bizarro Superman. Let's watch.
Got him. Got him.
So I know it's a hard thing on social media. And it also was a thing on mainstream media to the point that they're still saying it. Like, I can't believe that they're still saying it. And there's a video by a young man that's been stitched over and over again showing, I guess, a toddler, and I do mean like a 1-2-year-old. Yes, a toddler being handcuffed. And this was their proof to go full throttle with babies are being arrested by ICE. You cannot make it up. Watch.
I have not seen this happen to a white child. They put in black babies in handcuffs. Like, come on, fam. At a certain point, like, the camel's back got to break. This is some bullshit. There is no possible way that you can convince me that this isn't just pure racism. Why the fuck is a toddler, a 3-year-old, being put in fucking zip ties? What are we fucking doing here? How did we get here? Nah, bro. Like, groups have to be made. Coalitions have to be made. Shit like this can just not, it just can't happen. This is disgusting. And this is truly the youngest child that I've seen being put into any type of custody ever in my entire life for any reason at all, bro. It's fucking crazy. What's the explanation behind this? I hope they got this guy's fucking name too. What is this?
All right, so you guys saw all of that. So
hold up, that's the word I needed. Retarded. Bizarro was his retarded opposite. Thank you. Leonard, do you know? That's exactly who Bizarro was. He was retarded. He was Superman's retarded opposite. Niggas were straight retarded. Autism, everything. Thank you, brother.
that was what black liberals and white liberals went with, okay? That was the video, and that was the picture that they showed, that they said, hey, this is what's happening to the black youth, okay? Little babies as young as 1 and 2 years old are being arrested, okay? And put in zip ties. You can't make it up. That's what they used, okay? And the mainstream media ran with it. However, here on the Red Cup, we always bring receipts from the internet because the internet does what the internet does. As much misinformation that they put up, the internet will go find the truth. I want you guys to see the actual facts of where this video and that still actually came from. Because when I tell you, people do no research, they do no research. And they go and make all these videos and then they go with.
Don't like it.
Now that's ridiculous that they would use this video as a political football in order to push that ISIS.
All right, so you guys just saw that.
No,
So you see, you can't make this stuff up, or you can make it up because
because they're into
Got some
in
more.
the moment. Watch and Venezuelan gang. I refuse to allow Black people in Chicago to be co-opted to protect Venezuelan gang members. Democrats are literally the Demtail, and they're always going to make sure that they entrench cartel and Venezuelan gangs and whoever inside of Black areas, so that the moment you try to get those people out, they can easily say, "Oh," and say they're trying to harm Black people. They racial profiled the Black people. Think about it. Chicago had a choice about where they dropped all of these illegal aliens off once they got transported here from the southern border. They had a choice, and they purposely entrenched them in areas with Black people. Do you think that was a mistake? Do you think that was an accident? It's not an accident. They want to be able to say, oh, look what happened. The federal government is targeting and racial profiling Black people. No, they're actually profiling Tren de Aragua.
All right, y'all. At this point, y'all have really pissed me off, especially you so-called influencers who are taking parts of stories coming out of Chicago and using it for fucking clickbait and engagement. Y'all talking about them coming down on that building out south. Whole time, that building used to be predominantly Black. That building was predominantly Venezuelans, okay? There are people from that neighborhood that have been complaining about that building for a year. I told y'all, broken windows and shit that were already there. These are the things that y'all have to stop doing.
Let me tell you something. Black people, again, are collateral damage in this. And all the Black people that are getting mad at ICE and Donald Trump, hold on, you got to get mad at the politicians right here locally. Because it was the politicians right here in your city that decided to dump the migrant issue on the Black community like they do every single time. When they came across the border and checked asylum, they were able to come over into our city and get incentives like medical care, 6 months free rent, free transportation, free childcare. We fed them each and every day. And those people that they were giving assistance to, they didn't go up to the north side and to the white community. All of the people out there protesting that are white, they didn't open up their doors for them, and they didn't want none of the shelters on their neighborhood. Guess where they opened up the shelters? In the Black community.
All right, so you guys just saw all of that.
So that guy ran for mayor of Chicago twice and lost. He obviously sounds like he should be mayor. Whatever y'all doing in Chicago, y'all need to get behind that dude and put all your money behind him. Because then where's the other video? Hold on, let me see. Because then there's another video. Hold on. Oops. That shows some more people who live in Chicago.
All right, so let me help you out with this, okay? Since you don't get it. I literally live around the corner from where that happened at, okay? And not all Black people were detained. It was just a couple of Black folks in a building that nobody was supposed to be in. Yeah, they didn't tell you that narrative, that nobody was supposed to be in that building. Nobody. Also, that's a building full of clucks. You do know what clucks is, right? Also, the Venezuelans went through that building and took over the whole building. Not forcefully, but they just started moving in apartments they ain't had no business moving into. Also, it's a lot of Venezuelans that look Black. You know, like Cubans and Dominicans.
All right, y'all. At this point, y'all have really pissed me off, especially you so-called influencers who are taking parts of stories coming out of Chicago and using it for fucking clickbait and engagement. Now, I have been urging my people here to pause so that they can process things. Y'all talking about them coming down on that building out south. Whole time, that building used to be predominantly Black. That building was predominantly Venezuelans, okay? There are people from that neighborhood that have been complaining about that building for a year, okay? They showed y'all broken windows and shit that were already there. These are the things that y'all have to stop doing. And this is why I keep telling people here in the city, particularly Black people, pause so you can process. If y'all start responding to shit out of emotion, then you don't know what the fucking play is because you haven't had time to actually think. What people are doing are trying to get a rise out of Black Chicagoans, okay?
Wait. So we got to continue our coverage of the fallout from what I would describe as.
So hold on. I want y'all to see the full speech of that guy who was supposed to be mayor. Because hold on. Because that dude, what he was saying is actually really important. If I can. Oh, here it is. Oh, there it is. All right. Don't look at the crazy white man. Here we go.
Of them surrounding
City Hall because I want
Jamal Green. I'm sorry. Say, well, here's one more Black guy talking about what's happening in Chicago.
See, that's Jamal Green.
I'm sorry. Say again. That's Jamal Green. He ran for mayor of Chicago twice. He's an entrepreneur and activist, and he's been on my show. He has been one of the people that's been calling out Brandon Johnson from the beginning. Okay, let's watch.
See, I'm pissed off because a lot of people out there are acting like they don't understand what's actually happening in the city of Chicago.
He has his on super speed, so I got to slow mine down so y'all can hear it.
Regards to the ICE raids. Let me tell you something. A lot of people out there are acting like they don't understand what is actually happening in the city of Chicago in regards to the ICE raids. Let me tell you something. Black people, again, are collateral damage in this. And all the black people that are getting mad at ICE and Donald Trump, hold on, you got to get mad at the politicians right here locally. Because it was the politicians right here in your city that decided to dump the migrant issue on the black community like they do every single time. When they came across the border and checked asylum, they were able to come over into our city and get incentives like medical care, 6 months free rent, free transportation, free child care. We fed them each and every day. And those people that they were giving assistance to, they didn't go up to the north side and to the white community. All of the people out there protesting that are white, they didn't open up their doors for them. They didn't want none of the shelters on their neighborhood. Guess where they opened up the shelters? In the black community. Those same school buildings that they shut down in 2013 that were educating black kids, they took those school buildings and they made them migrant shelters. And then they gave over $700 million to a company out in Florida to manage those shelters. They took the buildings that you've been asking for to be developed and build new housing, and they made them into migrant homes, giving them 6 months of free rent. They dumped the problem on black community like they do every single time. When it was George Floyd riots, they closed downtown and pushed people to loot into the neighborhoods because they knew that people didn't care. Where was all the people right now? They weren't in our neighborhoods helping us open up back up our businesses. They were not in our neighborhoods helping us clean up. They weren't in our neighborhoods when we were fighting for Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times by Jason Van Dyke. I didn't see them at the protest. But now, right now, they want to make black people a part of the fight. When they made us collateral damage in the first place, we are always losing. That's why ICE is raiding buildings where black people are, is because they put them there. They pay for their rent. They pay for their food. They pay for their child care. They pay for everything, but they didn't put them where they live. They put them where black people live because they don't want to invest into the community. So that's the easiest place to dump a problem. So yes, we can say ICE is being aggressive. Yes, we know that our armed forces are always aggressive more to us. But what we can say is that our politicians did it to us. They should have never allowed them to come over here in droves like they did. And then when they did come over here, they should have never put them and dumped them in black communities, acting like we didn't want economic development, like we didn't deserve better schools and deserve community centers and deserve grocery stores. We deserve better. And our politicians need to act like it. Stop putting everything before us.
Wow.
So say shout out to old boy. That was he off the chain. Why he ain't in office? Because he ain't corrupt. He not corrupt. That's why he not in office. And how are ICE doing? And how is ICE going in there and raiding all these places? Everybody's like, it's illegal. He can't do it. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, no, it's not. That's not true. They're not illegal. What they're doing is using something called an administrative warrant. Talked about this last night on Lawcast. An administrative warrant. Basically, it's you have a search warrant, you have an arrest warrant, then you have administrative warrant. So you have other warrants too, but just talk about these three. So search warrant allows police officers to come in and search your house based on what's on the warrant. An arrest warrant, they can come in and arrest the person who's on the warrant in the house, but they can't search the house. That's very important. Police officers cannot search your house on an arrest warrant. So if somebody they're serving a warrant, an arrest warrant, saying that, well, we have intel that this person lives here. We have to come in. We have a warrant to come in and look for this person. And then they come in and start looking through drawers and cabinets and shit like that. They can't do that. They can only look where a person may physically be. Unless they're looking for a midget, they can't look in drawers and cabinets. Unless they're looking for Gary Coleman or something. But other than that, no, they can't do that. But an administrative warrant is less standard of probable cause in order to get, and it's not signed by a judge from a court. So the other two warrants are signed by a judge of the court. Administrative warrant is not signed by an administrator of the department or the bureau, like somebody in Homeland Security or something like that. And it allows them to go into public areas or semi-public areas in order to effectuate an investigation or an arrest. So when they went into this building, that building somehow was designated as partially public, and they were able to go in there. However, they didn't just go in there just on a raid. They had intel that Trinidad Agua was in there. And so when all the other people got caught up, they didn't have to get caught up. Why did they get caught up? Because they didn't know their rights. Just gonna say you don't know your rights. And the person who understands their rights knows that an administrative warrant is not a real warrant. They still need permission to come into your house, or another warrant, a search warrant, in order to get in your house. They just can't come in and say, I got an administrative warrant. Well, that ain't for me. That has nothing to do with me. Unless you can prove that I committed a crime. They still need reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. They still need an actual search warrant signed by a competent judge of the court. They can just do all this stuff. So when all those people saying, well, they did this, they did that, they did this, they did that, because you don't know how to make them stop. When police officers first come through, break your camera out. That's the equalizer. They don't want to get nothing on camera that they do wrong. So you have to break the camera out immediately. That's just mission one. Y'all got to get past that. As soon as you see a goddamn cop, even if that nigga rolling by in the car, get in the habit of breaking that shit out. And then rolling by the car and film that nigga. You got to get in the habit of breaking out your phone when Popo come around, because you have to have record and you can't count on theirs. But when that happens, that puts them on their heels. Usually they're on their tiptoes coming at you. When you pull the camera out, they're on their heels because they don't want to get caught. They don't want to get that repercussion, consequences and repercussions. You seen the movie Life? Consequences and repercussions. So they don't want that. And if you start telling them the law that they're supposed to know on camera, then that messes them up. But this is the other reason that poses the problem of using military as domestic police, because they don't know your constitutional rights. They're not sworn to protect your constitutional rights. They're sworn to protect the Constitution, not your constitutional rights. The police officers are sworn to protect your constitutional rights as well as the Constitution. So if these ICE agents get out of bounds and they don't know the law, you got to hit them. You have to smash them. That's the only way, again, you're going to get back at them. Other than that, what you think you're going to do?
Too many people walk through life carrying fear, not because they've done something wrong, but because no one ever told them they have rights. When you don't know the law, even ordinary life can feel like a risk. That's why we build Know Your Rights Foundation, a place where the law becomes clear, simple, and yours. Knowledge is your shield. The law is your defense. Start learning today at KYRF.org.
Hands behind the back, little guy. You know the drill.
Yo, easy on the wrist, officer. These paws ain't built for metal. Look, I ain't out here starting trouble. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, feel me?
Tell it to the judge.
Man, cold.
Become a volunteer with the Know Your Rights Foundation Academy. Earn a free police stop law certification and help your community understand their constitutional rights. Join KYRF.org today.
Easy there, little guy. Zip tie's not too tight? They're fine. You know the charge, ma'am.
Yeah. Being profiled in a nut-heavy
Can't
area.
believe that's a real thing. City ordinance. Let's load them up.
Don't worry, boys.
Gotta get on over here. You gotta know your rights. Squirrels gotta know their rights. Why do you think you don't have to know your rights? If squirrels gotta know their rights, so do you. But get over here, get the package, Great Book of Melanin Research, hook it up, and you will know the law as well as as well as you will get one of these beautiful shirts right here. One of these beautiful, lovely shirts. The Rapstrology, on the Rapstrology side of the game.
When your star sign aligns with your favorite bars, that's Rapstrology. Available in premium heavyweight, pre-shrunk cotton, designed for durability, comfort, and a fit that lasts. Each one makes a statement in its own way, designed to stand out at concerts, in the studio, or anywhere culture lives. It's more than fashion, it's legacy wear. Rapstrology is about options that speak to your vibe. Every drop connects the zodiac to the spirit of rap, a crossover that's authentic, creative, and conversation starting. Choose from 3 bold text editions, gold, white, and black. Each release marks a new chapter in the Rapstrology story. Volume 1 and Volume 2, Rapstrology Teas and...
What if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
That's right, people. It's time you knew what they know. know what they know, god damn it. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody. I'm out of here today. I got to get out of here. Got to cut. Actually, I got through everything, actually. Moved pretty fast today. So appreciate you guys for showing up on this Saturn's Day, this wonderful Saturn's Day. Everybody, hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm out of here. Got to get me some crab broil. God damn it, I'm hungry as hell. But thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for hitting the Cash App. And everybody who supports by going to realnagas.com and making sure you make a purchase. Also, if you go to Cash App, make sure you hit the Cash App this week or patreon.com/realnagas and sign up to one of the status class levels if you want to have 1 foot in the system and 1 foot out. And trust me, I just found out some crazy stuff about the United States of America and the money and where it is. Goddamn. Just gonna say, goddamn. That's all I'm gonna say. Can't tell you guys over the thing, but can't tell you over this thing. But if you want to know, you might want to hit me up because it's really off the chain. So thank you, everybody. I'm out of here. Appreciate you. Thank all the moderators for hooking it up in the super chat. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Deuces.